evening, and good night, everyone. Welcome back to Boston Blue Beat for their weekly Under Night 2 in Birth Sistema Celeste 2 net play bracket here on www.twitch.tv/Boston Blue Beat. I'm Tabby. I'm joined with Cockett today. How you doing?
I'm doing great this evening. I'm sure just as equally as all these players that we have today, we have a lot of the regulars. We have, say, Manil, we have Sandwich, the Jack of all time, LuFL, but we also have some a little bit lesser, frequenter names going around as well.
Yeah. There's a lot of names that are like not ones that I normally see in like every net play bracket, which are good to see. Big shout outs to a couple of the PNW people signing up and coming through, so I can gas you up and say how much better you are than all those East Coasters on the East Coast stream. But yeah, we got like a 30-man bracket today, which is pretty good. It's pretty good for a Wednesday.
Yeah, you might spark a little East Coast versus West Coast debate here, but that is for us to find out throughout this bracket. I would say.
I'm West Coast. There's not much of a debate. Look at the top placings in every event. Look at the number of East Coasters. We can just end this sentence. No need to pull up numbers. But yeah, it should be good. So I believe our first match, I am not sure which of the two that we have. I want to say that is... I believe we should be getting the... I think it was Sandwich Diebeast was our first one?
I believe so.
Yeah, so that should be good. I haven't seen Sandwich play in... Ooh.
Sandwich has been quite consistent recently. A lot of their most recent Boston Blue Beat performances. So, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think we might have just had a little bit of a last-minute bracket shakeup real quick, so we might not be getting that exact match on stream. So yeah, I think we will now just have to wait and see what comes for the rest of our players as we're getting through.
Sudden update. It appears that I believe Ryojin just BQ'd.
Yeah, it does look like it. So it means another spot in that top 8 is going to be opened up, as Ryojin is one of those people that is generally like for a net play bracket especially. Pretty likely to go the distance, right? A very, very talented Hyde player, has been through the net play tournament gauntlet, and should usually find themselves, as long as they don't completely do something very funny, like pick their 4-game Merkava or something like that.
Yeah, as you said, they're the kind of player that you're never shocked to see place well at a major. Nevertheless, at a net play event. So seeing them DQ does admittedly leave a decently sized hole in this bracket, especially this early on.
Yeah, but there's a lot of competition to try to come up for that extra spot in that top 8 now. So maybe some names that we didn't think would get as far. Someone like Sandwich we were talking about before. Sandwich, I feel like I always see right at the edge of that top 8 spot. They make a couple they'll pass over into those top 8s from time to time, but they've never had the super deep run or the 100% consistency to make it and to be like, oh yeah, you'll be I see them on the bracket, they'll be getting top 8. So maybe this kind of spot is gonna edge them up a little bit more. We'll be able to see more of them as time goes through. But yeah, we should be hopefully getting into it shortly. For those of you who are in the stream, as usual, ! Matcherino. Claim all those codes. We got a bunch of codes that you can claim. That's free money to the prize pool. Does not come out of your pocket, but if you're feeling generous, you can also donate to the prize pool itself. And that would, once again, all that money does go to the players for this event.
in fact that it is so easy that I just did it there for you, the exclamation point match arena right there, and I can literally show you. 1, 2, 3, boom, 3 clicks, and you're already putting in 25 cents into this pot for free for these players right here.
I just clicked 3 times on my match arena screen and I claimed a code myself. So if I can do it, I know you all can do it. Fighting game players were execution monsters. We could lab this out. We could lab the match arena routes. To donate all those free codes. Just and as a little bit of a teaser for some stuff, as a reminder that we do have the Boston Blue Beat Monthly that's going to be happening this weekend. So stay tuned for some more information on that. But if you're in the Boston area, make sure that you look at all the information that's on screen right here. Going to be at Balance Patch on August 8th. You can see the schedule on the left-hand side with Grand Blue, Guilty Gear again, Melting Blood, Sailor Moon, Guilty Gear one more time, UNI2, as well as BlazBlue Central Fiction. Avatar Legends, I think, is the full title of that game, and then is a launch event, or the launch weekend of Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. So make sure that you check all that out.
And speaking of Tokon as well, Boston Blue Beat is transitioning to a new schedule starting very, very soon, where we are adding Marvel Tokon to our rotation on Mondays, expanding the list of games that we do for our weekly net play stuff.
Awesome.
You'll bring it to Tokon on Mondays, Accent Core on Tuesdays, Uni on Wednesdays, and BlazBlue Central Fiction on Thursdays. So nothing's really changing. CF just happens on Thursdays now. Tokon's being added.
Yep. Well, hey, it's the great alliteration. You got Marvel Mondays now.
Yep.
You got
Perfect.
Marvel Mondays. It does look like our players now going to be getting into the room.
So far we have one player in. Hello, Art. Hello, chat. Hello, Calamari.
Yes. And I wasn't sure which of our 2 players that was. I don't believe it was slow, unless the slow user Ehawk comes out on net play, which would be very entertaining to see. But for the meantime, we are getting the wonderful roll of cat photos here.
If you guys have pets, I would love to see some of your pets, and we can maybe add them to the pet rotation here. At Boston Blue Beat for when times like these arise.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find because the slows opponent aSoundSpirit is not someone who I am super familiar with. So I'm trying to see if I can dig up if they have any wonderful gameplay available on Replay Theater or in the main Uni Discord.
Yeah, send them to Chris Bardo. Any pet pictures. I know they're all cats, but I'm sure he's willing to accept dogs and birds and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
As we are about to accept this little set that we're about to go into right now.
Yep, so it looks like both of our players in here. It's going to be that Carmine versus Linne. This is a PNW classic. So slow. I just to guess her a bit PNW local. Someone who really, I think, they played a little bit of Claire, but I think made their full come up through UNI2 mostly, and definitely one of the star players to look out from this region.
And on the other end, we have Bison at, which is hell of a tag. Hell of a tag. I commend it.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see if they can keep the subathon going here now as we get into our first game. Slow, you're gonna see them just playing pretty patient, right? Not having the full contestant or the full range that you can contest that with. Carmine is forcing you to play a little bit more patiently, but now Slow able to throw the momentum, staying up close, and knowing that you can't challenge some of these frame traps too much, but we'll press 2C anyways.
And a massive thing in this matchup is this very much so a case of like both of these characters want that one touch and then run their game plan, staying in your face. Yeah, these very aggressive mix-ups, but Carmine having a bit more options with the projectile game at the cost of, not having Linne's massive speed here.
Yeah,
letting her do stuff like that, run up there right there.
You're going to be seeing more of the oppression on those like low minus frames, plus frames right here, allowing Slow to get these bigger stagger confirms like that. A little shaky in the first round, but we will continue to get into a great runner off the J6 right there, because I'll have to eat it and will find a big opening on aSoundSpirit right here.
And we're going to get a nice little knockdown or not. Well, curse, but great tech on the throw.
Didn't delay the hit too much where the extension for the 60cc ate a wall bounce, so wasn't able to finish their plate right here. Now, aSoundSpirit, I think you're trying to find some openings, realizing that maybe some of their plans from the beginning weren't working out as well, but it's okay. The late assault in from Slow will find another opportunity to open them up.
And with the red miss, you bring it back with the reversal right there. Forcing the guard cancel out.
Yeah, just didn't want to have to hold that out here. You could have, guessed on the fuzzy right there, but it's better to be safe than sorry, knowing that as soon as you reset to the neutral, you can close these distances just like this. 100 meter was built on deck, has the cycle, so should be able to clean this first round up with the CBO ender.
And like that, Slow taking this first game right here.
Yeah. Great stuff from Slow. Yeah, I do like the game plan that wonderful Byakuya has right here. I think they had the right ideas of kind of just preemptively checking some of Slow's run-ins with things like a quick dash C, a quick 2C, even utilizing pinches like 5B to close it out. Tried to go early force function to catch lacking on a little bit of a dash forward, but Slow taking to the skies now. Once again, gaining that control, putting you in Street Fighter 6 territory. You're playing strike throw. With a good press out, Spirit taking a turn.
Yeah, deciding to block it out. Getting sweep, but not able to confirm off of it either.
Spirit just getting some of these right calls, but unfortunately not able to find the full conversions that they're looking for. Did roll out of the corner, but Slow gonna toss you back in once more, knowing that you're gonna get put into a one-touch situation. CS, keep your turn. It's fine. aSoundSpirit can be in EX Carmine oh so shortly, which means if they're wrong once, they will lose, but they can keep the damage going again and again. CS try to catch him out. Increase JC into a grid break throw. This is big. Makes the DB.
And with Carmine, the way that they work, this could be the right Oki situation that they need, but they're not able to finish the job there. They're trying to look for a shield, look for a grid break here, forces the guard cancel out. The red miss, they know they can reversal there.
Yeah, just give them another opportunity. Good staggers as well. Slow trying to press to close this round out, but aSoundSpirit taking that round back from the jaws of defeat.
Yeah. aSoundSpirit kind of having this confidence, even though there's some minor flubs with their execution, they're able to put it all together, just having that confidence to just say, I'm gonna go up in your face and like, if I press on you, you gotta hold it. But they're holding all of this offense from Slow right here, and like that, perfect on the side of Slow.
Yeah, you already saw Slow adjust their game plan a lot, right? They're just going for the smallest amount of frame traps, just seeing how confident aSoundSpirit felt, pressing into their block strings, knowing that you can just clear them out and secure those big perfects right here. 5cc, just a little too far away with the pushback right there. So aSoundSpirit able to escape out of the corner once again.
Gets hit by the blade follow-up right there. But Slow not able to finish their play.
Good use of like already showing you off the first delay 5cc, going for the increased follow-up, just force another layer onto aSoundSpirit once you get them put into that blocking situation. Catching them now with the 2C, making them really respect that overhead a little too much. You have 200 meter on deck, so an IW ender should be just enough for Slow to finish right here, taking the set 2-0.
Yeah, and Slow, with even though there were some small sparks in there where, you know, it appeared that aSoundSpirit was, again, having that confidence I mentioned beforehand of being willing to press on them. Yeah, they're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna be even more confident. Screw you.
Yeah, you saw them get a lot of mileage out of it, especially in the round that they took, right? Just being like, okay, I know you're going to continue to try to, like, you're going to try to move past that layer 1 of I'm just going to press out of you very quickly, and instead I'm just going to keep showing you that I am unconditionable. And you did see some changes, right, with Spirit to be like, okay, I'm willing to bounce between layers, which is not a skill set that every player has. And I think Slow just did a really good job of quickly adapting to it. And he's like I said, we saw the one round go into Spirit's favor, but Slow made the right adaptations, the right adjustments. We'll be moving on forward. It looks like they'll be fighting Sauce Boss in our winners round 2.
While that is happening, it appears for some bracket updates, we have Aubrey beating the Fine Wizard. We have Sandwich beating Herbs. Teemo taking it over forwarded. And we have Ibit losing to DBnJ.
Yeah, DBnJ is a enigma is not the right word, but like they are a player who I feel like has the potential to make some pretty crazy runs. Yeah, like they got third at the Boston Blue Beat on 729, losing to Squish and Boltstruck, which are like...
Yeah, those are two players where it's like, if you lose to them, I completely understand you.
Yeah. Yeah, as well as like Chain Shift earlier this year, they made a good run, 17th place, so just shy of that top 16 of what was also an incredibly stacked bracket. So definitely a lot of skill from a player to respect right there. Another player who's made some deep runs, but I feel like they had one really big run in Boston Blue Beat recently. I want to say it was a couple weeks ago now at this point. Yeah, it was that same 729 one actually that they were able to, they picked up a top 8 finish right there. So definitely one of those players to be looking out for going forward. But it looks like we are going to be getting That1Dude versus C_Rakestraw. I'm biased. I keep getting my locals on stream. Shoutouts Chris Bardo. But yeah, this should be a good one. Rakestraw is I don't want to say like the most knowledgeable Hyde player because there's just too many people at this point. But Rakestraw is responsible for a lot of the information on the wiki and a lot of early strategy and labbing that happened on this character for a long portion of this game. Definitely someone who's willing to put in the grind to figure out that kind of tech, and is very much a play by science kind of game plan, which is the opposite game plan of That1Dude, who's very much this kind of like heart style player, right? Very reads based. That's why they've had so much success over the course of their career with a character like Gordeau. However, Rakestraw took a couple hits in the beginning, but was able to find the opportunity to get that 60C to connect, and now should be controlling that corner once again.
Yeah, and now Hyde, a character that can lock you down in the corner if needed, but That1Dude finding the hit out, side switching there. A TK214A right there. That is plus, I believe, 2 on standing. So be sure to watch out for that as well.
More of that opportunity comes right here. The Rakestraw. This is a pretty similar situation to what we saw in our last match, right? With Slow and Linne. I think both these characters are really trying to play that more standard strike throw game of using those minus frames in the corner to try to catch their opponent lacking right here. Thought that they would go for an earlier press on that J3C there. I know what the J2B or the JV right there was to try to call That1Dude, but That1Dude delaying their pressure a little bit right here, just like that, finding another counter hit 2C, expecting Rakestraw to press right there, and taking that round.
That is a side effect to both of these characters. Both are also very prone to snowballing extremely. Whether it be Gord due to his assimilation and just overall, the damage that he can accumulate at the range that he can hit you. Whereas like Hyde just chunks you for existing.
Yeah, as well as like Hyde being one of the best chip damage characters in the game. So it's one, if you're just blowing down back, you're going to be eating almost a throw's worth of damage off of some of these block strings. That1Dude showing, hey, I'm not afraid. I'm allowing myself to get hit by that DV. I'll allow myself to get hit by that 660 because I know I still have a little bit of that health lead. I'm going to have the meter to get out of here as well if needed. But Rakestraw controlling the cycle right now is pretty big. That's not going to allow That1Dude to get a reversal out, but it's fine. We find the opportunity to suppress 2C anyways.
That cake straw off the end here. Invalid, but you know, if this was CF, I could say, oh, it's Boston Bluevy. It's a invalid in this game.
Yeah, it's a as I say, it's a Boston Blackbeat right there. So
yeah.
Not able to get the full extension. That1Dude does not let them get them, immediately challenging with run-up throws. You saw Rakestraw kind of just dash block, expecting maybe something like Reaper, knowing that they had 200 meters to continue off the plus frames. But That1Dude is going to be continuing to assert that snowball pressure, like you were saying before. It's up to Rakestraw to find an opportunity to get out.
And again, both these characters can put you in this. They have such a dominant range that either character can't really contest against each other in.
Rakestraw doing a good job of just trying to find an opportunity like that. Was looking for that shield attempt right there, knowing that they could get a guaranteed grid break. Because a big thing that we talked about a little bit already, though, is that cycle control in this matchup, right? Not necessarily that Hyde has it, but it's preventing Gordeau from getting it. Not giving them a safe option to reversal out of some of this Hyde pressure can be a very, very scary tool. Rakestraw did get clipped by another 2C, but it's fine. One more little cheeky force function confirm right there at the very end will give Rakestraw game number 1.
Both of these players seeming to always have an answer for one another, so makes me slightly question if maybe they ran into each other on net play or something, or perhaps they're just prone to adaptation like that. Sometimes you just gotta throw stuff out like that.
These two have definitely played each other on that play before. Like, just with the amount that these two have been in the net play minds for not just in this version of the game, but in Claire, even back in ST, I believe, for Rakestraw. I know That1Dude's been around for a hot minute. These people have played each other for maybe over half a decade at this point, realistically. So definitely a lot of that those player habits coming through. That's something that you get a lot with these legacy undernight players. There's a lot of crazy things like that. That1Dude, great recognition right there to know that they can utilize 2-2C as the guaranteed safe reversal to confirm the kill right there, and finding a couple of these bigger hits once again, trying to get that same run-up grab pressure, but Rakestraw just spacing themselves out a little bit safer now.
And that one hit practically guarantees Warple for Rakestraw there. Pretty tough, That1Dude.
Yeah, but getting hit right here gonna lead us into Rakestraw's favor. We'll have to see if they can secure the cycle at the very end. Currently, it's gonna be ticked over a little bit. Try to go for a meaty, and unfortunately getting reversal out once again. That's gonna give That1Dude the hit. It's gonna give them the corner. It's going to give them the Vorpal cycle. It's down to them to kind of keep it in control into their favor. But the 2-3-6 B plus C right here coming out for Rakestraw. Not gonna be reversal safe though off the 2-2C.
And that tipper range right there with the 3C. Gordeau is left there plus, and with the run up 2-4. That, evening the score, That1Dude.
I'm at one hit, surely the Gord player won't assim me here. is like it's the worst feeling on the planet. But that's what Gord players live for. I know That1Dude just grinning, being like, okay, I was able to take that one. I was able to tie it up. Let's see if we can open up once again. Counter or punish it on the fireball right there, though. Catch a nice little trip guard. Should be good for Rakestraw to now gain the corner. That1Dude, though, really trying to shield, really trying to steal the cycle from the very end. It's going to go to their favor, so they will be able to catch that CS out, but no meter to get a guaranteed punish, so you're instead going to eat the wreck of follow-ups.
And with that one knockdown, it's not looking great for That1Dude, but a throw back into the corner. Simple asymender. And big DP, but the 2B starter's probably going to kneecap this damage a bit here.
Yeah, for UNI2, it's good enough. 3,800 right there, and the meaty dash force function as well will be another great starter, opening up Rakestraw as to put him in back to that once again. One sim range. You have the CS on deck though to do some crazier things. Rakestraw going to take it away from you though with the VO. Gets a grid break punish, all the creeping edge attempt right there from That1Dude, and now you have to hold all this corner pressure, all these plus frames. What will you do? Force functions? Yes, good tech out. It's That1Dude's turn, but Rakestraw immediately steals it back. That1Dude gets a great challenge right at the very end.
And yet again, That1Dude just... It feels like if you were sitting right next to him, he'd be constantly goading you. Like, in real time. But it doesn't matter when Rakestraw, that 660 right there, such a good level.
I have played Rakestraw offline enough. This man cannot be goaded. He is a stone cold killer when you're sitting next to him, so maybe a little bit of that can be coming into this match right now, but the online effect is going to be helping a ton. That1Dude getting another good sim to catch him out. 5C at a tipper range right there. Does have Vorpal, has the meter on deck, but you won't even need it. That1Dude gonna be now taking this set 2-1.
For Tavi's analogy there earlier, I guess heart does win over the mind sometimes.
Sometimes heart wins. Sometimes sometimes the heart, the pen is mightier than the sword, or the sword is mightier than the pen in this situation. Actually, maybe that analogy doesn't work. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we get on later.
It takes a refined mind to use the sword well.
Yes, it's an even finer mind to use the scythe effectively.
The scythe as a farming tool, not a weapon.
Yeah, and That1Dude, he's farming W's. He's farming fat stacks of cash right now as he's sitting in the winners quarterfinals, trying to get
the fat cash that's waiting in the match arena. If you are here right now, all it takes right here, I will set it up for you all right here. The exclamation point match arena right there opens up that link right there. And for free, you can give these people 25 cents, adding that to the pot. But overall, that adds up over time, you know?
Yeah.
So get these people paid with literally free money, or if you feel like it, you could even add to the pot if you so desire.
Absolutely, yeah. Make sure that we get... I want all those codes claimed before we get this top 8 started, if possible. So please, just throw it in Unicorn. Just say claim this code. People will do it as we get into our next match. DBnJ versus undernerzerdo. DBnJ having to go through an Akatsuki gauntlet in the first chunk of this tournament is a little funny. Especially on a character like Hilda, which, some people say can be a little bit of a struggle if they're not able to get the kind of zoning pattern that they really want to be effective out, but Zerdo not afraid of it so far, really trying to do whatever they can to challenge him out. DBnJ currently sitting with a great life lead and a great pin drop from downtown.
That being said, Zerdo using the opportunity that being zone presents to them to just stack so much grid right there. They literally have filled up the entire meter right there.
Yeah, and so getting the extra damage bonus on a character like Akatsuki as well is huge. You're going to be seeing 200 meter now go back on deck, putting you into a strike throw situation. Zerdo can afford to spend at least another 100 meter, just guaranteed right here, but a 6B will be just enough. Caught DBnJ pressing something, maybe a JFFA, maybe just a 2A of RA. We'll have to go back to the replays to fully figure that out right here. And Zerdo, now once again, willing to play that war of attrition, willing to take some damage as we're just seeing skewers and spikes come in again. Great dashing right there, but the force function A is going to be able to clip him out with the overhead. And DBnJ getting a good confirm off of it, and that is EP safe.
And bring them to the corner off of it, or that's what I would say. Just running straight through the attempt that DBnJ is zoning right there.
Yeah, and that is a big thing Akatsuki really has to leverage in this match, right? Leveraging the high speed, leveraging some of those forward moving options, knowing that you can't play a game that you want to in some of these other more standard strike throwmen, but Zerdo knows that well and is taking game number 1.
And again, using what most people would see as like a downside in the matchup, but because the way that Uni works, you're able to turn getting zoned into benefit right there. Turn it into your own resources right there, as you could see. Every time underzerdo is blocking, they're gaining resources because of it.
Yeah, DBnJ is able to clip the cycle right here, though, so to keep them a little safe going into it, able to, stay safe up for the post-CS interactions while having 100 meter on deck to maybe make something happen. With the Roomba now coming out, good blocks on the 50-50. But DBnJ doesn't let that get to them, just sets it up, sets the gloom once again, just trying to escape the corner right here.
That's another thing, even though Akatsuki is stuck to their step dash, they do not have a regular run like a significant amount of the cast does. They do have a fireball to maybe at least make some space, but
the secret is having the step dash is actually like arguably better for the character. I was about to say something maybe egregious that somebody might counteract with a point, but the advantage of having a step dash in Uni being that you can actually gain more dash momentum while dash blocking means that you're able to cover some of those distances more effectively. So giving Zerdo more opportunities to close distances that maybe a character like Hyde, for example, wouldn't be able to. Didn't recognize that was corner escape teleport right there, getting clipped with the 2-2x off the Roomba, so no full combo, but we're still 50-50. We're still, that shouldn't have happened, but we're still 50-50. That's the DBnJ promise right here.
And teleporting to the other side with the CS right there. And resin into the Roomba, but the underzerdo ready with the block.
Yeah, and this is, we haven't seen this come out from Gordeau, but one thing that you do have to be scared about is EX parry, right? If you just kind of go for those reset glooms and they are ready to just immediately slam EX parry, it can hurt. It can hurt a lot. So we'll have to see if that's something that Zerdo can find. But DBnJ right now just doing a good job of escaping out, really just trying to make sure they can keep their life on the line. Finally catching them with the standard 50-50 with the low. That's going to be them tying it up 1-1.
Now essentially catching underzerdo for, I guess, being sometimes a little too complacent in neutral. Not pushing the advantage maybe as much as they should be, but when they do, DBnJ seems to be already ready with it, with that grid break and the bait on the DP right there.
Yeah, I think DBnJ did a good, has finally gotten a read of exactly what Zerdo's habits are. You see the immediate throw tech coming up as soon as the dash-in comes forward. You see them trying to open up once again. I do like that Zerdo's not always just opting to parry the skewer right there, knowing that DBnJ can get some punishes off of it if they aren't ready. But this is the worst spot to be in if you're able to play her in the corner versus the Akatsuki. Dio gets punished, 60s starter. You don't need to spend anything right there to guarantee the kill. And Zerdo now on match point.
That's another big thing. In the past game, DBnJ was getting away with a lot of the teleports that they were doing beforehand. Now underzerdo not giving them the light of day to even attempt it at this point.
Yeah, Terry after the post CS right there, challenging any kind of bar item from DBnJ. Throwtech's out though, so gives himself a chance. The 2-2, that skewer coming in. The Gloom trade ends up keeping DBnJ safe from being hit right there. And yeah, that was that EX parry that we were talking about before, but you saw DBnJ was even ready to preemptively like go for that layer and challenge him appropriately. Wasn't able to find a reset over here, but it's fine. They'll get knocked down. We have the meter, we have CS. There's a lot in our favor right here for DBnJ. What can they do to close it out? Because Zerdo is still one touch away, but they'll need a couple more touches as we go into final game, final round.
And it seems in the battle of EX moves, DBnJ comes out on top right there. Now we have the restand. Good blocks from underzerdo here.
Yeah, catches all the different high-low mix available onto them. Will take a throw. DBnJ not able to get any big setup off of it. Not finding any success off the increased 5C for catching them for hits, right? But still able to at least use it to reset those plus frames. B-Spire gonna be working out great for them. Trying to find anything now to open up Zerdo as they put themselves into a very close situation. But EX parry now unlocked, hitting on that Gloom and punishing DBnJ appropriately.
And with this knockdown opens them up right there, probably trying to go for that teleport like from earlier. Guard cancels out from DBnJ right there. And finds the J6C right there. Both players practically at one touch scenario.
The Roomba on deck finds the throw attempt right there. Wasn't ready for the mix. Was expecting the high-low, and one more throw will do it. DBnJ says, you like strike throw? No, I like strike throw. Finding those last couple of hits right there to take the set 2-1. And we'll be getting a little bit of a break from that Akatsuki gauntlet as they move on forward to fight Manil.
That being said, also great performance from underzerdo. Literally one hit away from also taking it themselves. And hopefully we get to see more of them as the bracket progresses.
Yeah, hopefully Sponge Blitz Grid Guy comes back on stream, maybe as we get further back into the bracket, but we'll have to see what goes forward. As we now get into our winners quarters, all of these players are fighting for that winners side top 8 spot. So a lot of stakes on the line. Getting your image on that match arena, or on that top 8er is going to be the objective for a lot of these players. As we go back up top, haven't had him on stream just yet. One of the strongest Mika players in North America, Montoon, going to be fighting against Sandwich.
As mentioned beforehand, we started the stream talking about Sandwich. One of those players who's been typically on the fringes, like almost hitting that, like hanging with the top 8ers and all that stuff.
This is a very comfortable, or not comfortable, but a familiar spot for her, right? This is a spot that she's been in these brackets again and again and again. So we'll see if she can push her and break through. Nanase Mika is something that I do know that some Nanase players do like, because it gets a little scrambly, and Nanase does have a couple more tools just available on deck in the scramble that can be more effective. And you've already seen a couple of those, but Montoon knows how to be in there as well. And both these players are just going to be trading a couple of big hits, but the Mika Tornado going to be connecting for the first big touch of the game.
And as you mentioned, this matchup gets a bit more scrambly. These are both very fast-paced characters. Whereas like Mika likes to run this extremely aggressive game plan. But her missiles, her tornadoes, her command grabs, all sorts of stuff. Whereas Nanase very much just wants to knock you down, put the projectile on you, and run her own game plan there.
I need a comment on Sandwich blocking all the Mika mix right there in the corner. That was insane. But one big thing that happens in this matchup a lot that you don't necessarily see a whole lot when these characters are in other matchups, or you do a bit, but the ability to reset to neutral is very free for both these characters, right? send Mika missile in, then just go back out, or Sandwich utilizing things like float to just float cancel away, or use TK Fireball just to like reset back into quote-unquote neutral while either in control of the match. And I think you're going to be something that will come in as we get further and further in this bracket. Both these players are kind of just trading reversal hits back and forth and creating these bigger opportunities just like that. So you see, with Tornado, no follow-up, no trying to EX cancel, not trying to do anything crazy. Sandwich just wanted to bait out Montoon's forward press right there. Steer Ender with the CS trying to catch him out, but Montoon just willing to hold back.
And just cracks them with the overhead anyways right there.
Yeah,
Sandwich getting this knockdown, putting the disc on him.
Showing high so many times over and over again and just continuing to press it when you expect him to go low. But you're already seeing this Montoon now just prioritizing blocking high in some of these more risky mixed situations, expecting Mika missile to go through, so you use roll to keep yourself safe and reset to the mid screen. But Montoon went straight down, able to punish the roll, but Vio gonna punish the 6-6B. May have been able to kill if they did 80. Or if they did BDP right there instead, but we just have to hold the VO as the same option. Disc coming through, gonna clear it out with the connection up to increase JC. And one more hit from Montoon right there with the tip of a hurt box, gonna be them taking game number 1.
Again, emphasizing that whole, when these characters get put into neutral, shit just happens.
Yeah.
And both of them just wanna just hold you down and just maul you in whatever way they like to. Good catch right there with the fireball right there.
One thing that is also important to note, like, I know this is undernight, but Nanase does have a little bit of a higher, like, extended hurt box range on some of her stuff as she's coming, as she's throwing them out, right? Like, that tornado is pretty safe, but some of the sword normals can get clipped, and you saw that happen with Montoon earlier. So let's see, potentially that continues down the line. But right now, Montoon just really trying to mix them up, and I love this case from Sandwich, just always trying to VO, just showing, hey, I'm going to show the safest option until you start to like hard bait me out of it. And then at that point, that's when a lot of the crazy options get out of Mika can become a lot more effective. But Montoon doing a really great job on defense, trying to Abare with the 6-6B afterwards as soon as the plus frames come through. Has Celestial and will be cashing it out with the EX Mika missile starter.
And taking this knockdown here, just shy of 4K. And guess it's wrong on the Mika missile right there. It ended up being cross up, bringing them. Oh, going for the kill with the CVO here. But it's not enough.
Yeah, CVO scaling, killing a little bit too much. Just needed to be a little bit further for the mid IW damage to tick in for the guaranteed kill right there. But Sandwich doesn't let that get to them. Immediately popping CVO of their own right here and has a lot more meter on deck. And with Ilex Ender, I don't think this is enough either, so it's going to be kind of a scramble situation. And if they're alive, Montoon is someone who's not afraid to go for those cheeky Abare options right from the get-go. Yeah, it is just a slight life lead in the favor of Montoon right here, and you can even playing a little bit more patient, knowing that, hey, there's only 15 seconds, and I technically have a life lead, but we're going to be trading hits once again. No punish on Sword Car roll-through, but we'll just take to the skies once again. Montoon securing a round right at the very end.
I
would say it's also a very advantageous round for Montoon with how long it went after they spent IW of their own, that they're already almost back to 100. So, like, essentially closed out the round with IW and got back to 100 meter for free. And I think Sandwich was not looking for ADP right there. So Montoon got a good punishment, which forces him to the DP out this time. Dive follow-up after the tornado, going to be giving them the starter that they're looking for.
Just shy of 4K right there. Just constantly chucking out these fireballs right here.
Yeah. Utilizing Tornado right there to just catch out some of those like 6-6B or Mika tornadoes that you've been seeing come from Montoon again and again. Sandwich is kind of had an option that's been pretty good for stuffing Mika approach right here. See if they can keep it up.
One round away from evening it up, but Montoon with the anti-air tornado right there.
Just staggering that right here. You see Sandwich is holding down back, not trying to do any aggressive shields, was waiting for something like the EX command grab to be coming out, so able to keep himself safe from it.
The upside forcing the VO right there. You know, draining all of Sandwich's meter and forcing the CS as well.
Yeah, fortunately, it did, Sandwich was able to actually secure the cycle off of it, so ends up being a pretty good VO. Wasn't able to maybe find a full refund off it, but Montoon wasn't able to make a ton of happen after that Celestial, after having to spend that 200 meter on deck. Mika Tornado right there whiffed, but unfortunately wasn't able to keep themselves safe either in the Mika Missile mix right here. So Montoon showing a repeat of this first round that, hey, we're back to Mix City and it's going to be up to you to guess.
And seems like Sandwich sadly guesses wrong. On the left, right there, Montoon will go on 2-0 over Sandwich.
It's always a scary situation to be in. So great stuff from Sandwich, but excellent stuff to Montoon. Going to be moving on forward through that winners semifinals. It looks like That1Dude did beat Teemo, who was able to upset LuFL earlier. So we'll be seeing That1Dude once again in our winners side top 8. Going to be fighting Montoon, some Gord Mika, which is a matchup that I felt like I never saw, and then all of a sudden a switch flipped, and now we see it all the time. It's very interesting. But our next top 8 qualifier match we'll be having on stream is going to be Jack Oat, the Jack of all time, versus Slow, who was our first match on stream earlier. So we get to see some of that Linne Waldstein action, the canonical, the lore match happening right here. The bodyguard versus the master.
The lore team fight, I suppose. This is a training session in the middle of a bracket right here.
Yeah, both these players are fighting with a furiosity of competition. Ooh, late green shield right there, but no punish from Slow. That's going to give Jack a chance to escape out, but it's fine. Yeah, EXTN closing up the distance so that they don't get blown up for it. And just continuing to lock Jack down in the corner.
Very funky trade right there from both players. And Slow going for the reversal right there. Justin Jack try to get any sort of offense rolling.
Oh no, you have a lot of a life lead, but this is not a great situation to be in. The force function, I really think they expected to kill right there. Now they're taking a couple of big risks. The Fate Swipe overhead CS right there, but Slow delay teching to get out of it. Not if the hold it. Throw was a little too early, so that would have given Slow a chance, but one more delay of Bare right there will allow them to just secure that round. But that's still a lot of meter that ended up going into Jack's favor. But Slow having the great force function reactions on all of these EX clap chances.
They've been very much so on top of anything that comes after. Jack trying to keep their turn or force their turn. Any of these EX moves, Slow is just on top of it, trying to DP or do a reversal out. But Jack has been on top of catching some of these, like that one right there. It's going to be so much damage for it.
Just shy of 5k. Yeah, just shy right here. Puts you to essentially a one-touch body splash CS. The standard, Waldstein game plan. And Jack just, you get put into the corner versus the grappler. What are you gonna do about it? Guess right? No.
Especially after just taking 5k, like your head is just in such a state where it's just like, I need to do something. And that is exactly what a grappler player wants.
Great confirm from Slow right there. Wasn't able to find the full hit stagger pick that they were looking for, but still able to lock him down in the corner. Like we were talking about, now Slow doing a good grappler impersonation of their own, but this time utilizing things like Air Force function and we talked to Byakuya earlier, just to continue to force Jack to be guessing on these strike throw opportunities. Has the CS as well. We'll need one more, and a DP anti-air on the body splash attempt from Jacko will give Slow game number 1.
Yeah, that being said, Jack also always the kind of player that proceeds to be a threat throughout the entire set. He is not a player you can sleep on at all, even if you're up a game against him.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. Jack being one of those Waldstein players that is definitely someone to be looking out for at any stage of this bracket right here. But Slow is showing that they're willing to not follow what their name says, and they're going to be moving fast. They're going to be constantly finding opportunities to open Jack up, getting TRMs, getting a couple of these stray hits here or there. It may have not been able to find like 2 big combos right here, but a lot of these just straight chips, these throws going to be adding up once again. Now, Waldstein's just spacing that a little bit too far in there, so not able to find the 6cc ender. And that's going to give Jack another chance to escape out, but Slow once again has the life lead. They've been in this situation before, but they don't want a full repeat of what happened last time.
And we won't get that with the run-up. And Slow 1 round away from taking this set.
I really like that micro adjustment that came out right there. You saw Jack see oh, we've been in this situation, I'm just back away because I know you're in DP. And so just immediately challenged with Wake Up 2A instead. Expecting Jack might be just going for a more safe option, and then counteracting that with the run up 2C right there, which is very, very on point. Jack though showing that they're on point right now, up until the point where Slow gets that DP out, but it's fine. We VO, we say no thank you. Swipe hit is a big starter.
Big overhead right there, and straight into the command grab. Jack getting another round here. 1 round away from evening up this set, but Slow is 1 round away from closing this set out.
Yeah, Slow also having that 200-meter sprint in right at round start is going to be very beneficial for them, right? Finding things like this IW punish right here, just catching up for as much damage as possible. You have that VO benefit, knowing that you're going to be gaining so much of that meter back after the post CS, and with that meter refund already back at 100 right here off this confirm, you won't guarantee the CVO, but it's fine. We've got the damage anyway. That's going to be Slow moving on forward to fight Manil in winner's side top 8.
And very much so, a lot more of a confident performance from Slow this time around as well. Last time we saw them on stream, perhaps, they maybe only hopped on, had a few games. It seemed like they're trying to get warmed up as the set was progressing, where here it's just, as you mentioned, just making very sensible choices on both offense and defense. Stuff like conditioning Jack to be more and more used to DP, taking those punishes on the shoulder, and then proceeding to, go out and do that dash up to A.
Yeah, and you saw that Slow was also showing that decision to do those reversal DPs to put him in that mindset at times where even taking the DP wouldn't put them into even necessarily close to a checkmate situation, right? It was always a touch and a half afterwards. So I think just really, really heads up play on how to condition your opponent throughout that set. Just like I'm conditioning all of you at home to enter !Matcherino to claim all those codes for our Matcherinos. We are just getting through to our top 8. We have 32 codes still left. Please, let's get all these codes claimed before the end of the night. It would be greatly appreciated for all those for our players in this tournament to get the money that they are grinding for in these kinds of brackets. Speaking of brackets, we're sponsored by BBB Online. That's what's happening right now. That's what happens now every single week at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And with the newest edition of Marvel Mondays, Marvel Tokon going to be happening on Mondays. Guilty Gear XX Accent Core Plus R on Tuesdays. Undernight Inbirth 2 Systema, or Undernight Inbirth Systema, whatever. You know what it is. It's UNI2. It's on Wednesdays. It happens all the time. And now Thursdays are open for Blaze Blue Central Fiction 2.0. All this happens on twitch.tv/BostonBlueBeat. You use !bracket to check out what a bracket will look like for this week and what it'll be looking like going forward throughout the rest of the events.
Yeah, and if you don't pull up to any of those, I will come after you. Additionally, we also have the regular Boston Blue Beat in-person events at Balance Patch. If you are in the Boston area, all sorts of games are being run. August 8th, that is 3 days from now. There's some Grand Blue Rising, some Guild, like literally all 3 Guilty Gears you could ask for it. On top of some MBAC, but locals running regular Sailor Moon S, and if you like the UNI2 stuff that you're seeing here, and you're in the Boston area, you can come to and play some UNI2 as well.
That's right. Yeah, you can play all these wonderful anime titles and more at Balance Patch happening on August 8th. But you know what awesome anime titles like these that you can play on October 3rd through 4th in the Durham Convention Center in North Carolina? That's right, you can play all of these at SQXL The Promised Day. This is a awesome regional that's happening in the Southeast, being ran by people who love anime fighters, as you can clearly see with everything that's happening. We have, like, think of a game, it's probably there. All 3 mainline Guilty Gears. They've got Grand Blue. They're going to have Tokon. They're going to have Avatar. They've got VSAB. They've got Uni. They've got Persona 4 Arena, Ultimax, the Ultra Suplex Hold 2.5. They've got, like it's too much. There's too many games. There's too many games to play. It's also featuring the Makai World Cup, which is a huge VSAB tournament. So definitely a lot that's going to be happening, especially for Grand Blue, which is a 4-star event on the GBVS World Tour. So please make sure that you check that out. If you live in the... If you can make it out to this event, you should go. Like, just straight up, just go. This event is going to be sick. But especially if you live in the southeastern United States, you should try to make this drive out. It's going to be really, really cool. You can sign up now by scanning the QR code or by going to start.gg/SQXL.
Also, shouts out to them doing some UMA.
Yeah. It's ran by people who love sicko games, and UMA is a certified sicko game now at this point. So definitely going to be exciting. I know I am still trying to figure out if I can finagle, like maybe I fly out for a day, or if I'm just gonna be sitting and watching all the action at home. But I'll be watching the action at home right now for the rest of our top 8. We're still figuring out the loser side, but the winner side, our first game is going to be Montoon versus That1Dude.
Both of these players kind of thriving in the chaos that they create, sort of in different ways though. As Art mentioned in the chat beforehand, it appears that he enjoys this matchup probably for that same reason.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, and Gordeau and Mika players can yell at me if I'm wrong, I think traditionally this match is pretty Gordeau favored.
Yes, I in my time playing this game, I do think Gordeau wins this matchup, but also it is needlessly hectic nonetheless.
Yeah, just a big reason you're seeing a lot of it come out from That1Dude right now is the sort of the way that you defeat a lot of Mikas is just by throwing stop signs out. And Gordeau is a character who looks like he's building a new subdivision, right? It's 4-way stops everywhere. It's filled with a variety of different stop signs that you can just throw on your opponent. Things like 5C, things like Mortal Slide, things like Grim Reaper, using 2C to check him out of the air. Like, you just have so many different tools available to you on deck that it's kind of, the Mika player has to make a read of, like, what tool are you going to use and how do I prevent you from doing it, which can just be, pretty hard to deal with. That's what you saw, I think, work a lot for That1Dude who took that first round, but Montoon showing that, hey, once we get up close, it can be a little bit more advantageous and in my favor, especially if we get into that weird command grab game, because sometimes some weird invuln happens, but instead we're just getting grid broken.
Yeah, another additional thing, we saw potential opportunity for it there, but like Gordeau can also get in the way of some of that mix-up that, say, Montoon just hit right there with something like B Grim Reaper, stuff like that, to catch, the messiness that is Mika missile sometimes.
Once again, who tried to see Sim out right there, but Montoon delaying the Mika missile, so was able to keep himself safe. Didn't find a punish on that, but we still find a hit regardless. Catch a walk down to the corner, we're just frame trapping. And Montoon going to utilize this situation to their advantage a lot because they were already up 1 round. That last mix, we'll just do it again. If you didn't block it the first time, you're not going to block it the next, and that's Montoon taking game number 1.
The very, very dominant last round there from Montoon. Perfect coming from them.
Yeah. That's showing you why Montoon is always rated very highly in these Boston Blue Beat brackets, right? They are a player to really be concerned about. As well as they're always one of those players that when they are able to like make it to offline events, that it's like, oh, they're playing, oh, I gotta watch this to see what happens, because you can see some crazy upsets come out from anywhere. But that one dude trying to be the upset maker of their own, we're playing strike throw in the corner.
Just barely not getting grid broken right there.
They'll say safe.
Catching with the tip of force function right there.
Speaking of tips right there, they're catching the tip of everything right here. Tip of the sim, tip of the scythe. Uses the CS, gonna catch the tip of the Reaper as well. That one dude just playing a lot more patient in that round, right? Recognizing that Montoon wanted to try to, enforce some scrambles to put that one dude into a little bit more of a reactive situation, but if you just play defensively and you just allow them to come to you, they'll find an opportunity to dig their own gray. But Montoon setting the pressure once again, good roll out of their own, but will still get opened up.
Yeah, you saw a bit of it right there, but that one dude using more of BSM right there to try to catch some of these Mika missile attempts. Good tech on the throw right there. And with the getting both a cycle and the hit right there, this is going to be so much damage. 4.7.
Going to be sounding like Riot Freak with the tons of damage coming out right here as we're in Celestial bonus as well. We'll be maintaining it. Good press out right there, not getting a sim to once again knowing that would spell certain death for them at this stage of the game. Instead, we'll have to make them use the CS to spend C Reaper so they're not able to kill off that one touch, but the 6B will be just enough. That one dude tying it up to 1-1.
The uni staple of just, you're so overwhelmed by the massive normals and stuff that you forget to realize just these very, very, I guess, slow overheads that just knock you on top of the head like that.
Look, we all know this. The slower the overhead, the harder it is to block. So
that's real.
So, because you're worried about so many of these other options that you're like, oh, surely they won't press this 26 frame option. What is this, 25, I think?
I think you were right. I think it's 26.
Yeah.
I saw Art in the chat. Art can correct me.
It's slow enough, right? It's not 18. We're not ogre.
Lovely confirm right there off of the 236 into this. But yeah, it's cancel right there. We use up all of our meter right there for the really good knockdown. The 2-2B catches Montoon for trying to press out right there.
Yeah, we were talking about stop signs before, right? That's really how you shut down a lot of them to play you do. 2-2B specifically in the corner right there cuts out a lot of what they can use to press, because Montoon especially loves pressing 6B out of the corner right there. Being that quick forward advancing button that will go over some of these shorter lows, but just having a low stop sign is a very, very good tool, and that's why you're seeing that one dude was in a pretty advantageous situation, but Montoon gonna even up his life total is what I would say if they could finish the combo.
And that one dude finishing the job that Montoon could not. 1 round away from going further into the top 8 right here.
Yeah, right now locking themselves up at least the guaranteed 5th, but is going to be looking for that guaranteed 3rd if they can take it. But Montoon is showing, hey, I also want that spot. I want that chance at the crown if I can get it. The no mix, but it's fine. It stays safe after the 2-2C reversal. Montoon getting the great punish off of it as well. Does have the meter on deck, should that they need to spend IW, but we'll just get a grid break, but we aren't able to finish a play right there due to the weird hit, but it's fine. We finally get Mika mix. We finally are able to secure that round with a purpose as well. Quick Reaper into the 2-2C though is going to be what that one dude wants to turn the tempo swing into their favor at the get-go.
And we are not going to force the VO out of Montoon. The Montoon using the extra options that the EX Mika missile gives to catch the 3D right there. A very good check and tech right there from That1Dude, but getting hit by Montoon yet again. Force the VO.
Yeah, 6B once again. This time you saw Montoon just autopiloting for low shield, expecting some more mids to come up, but That1Dude, I think, recognizing it, but now getting a little greedy with these overheads, still able to keep him safe, though, with all of Gord's options. And as long as you keep it tight, as long as you keep it clean, we're doing 3 buttons into 3 buttons. That1Dude is going to be moving 1 step forward to sit on that winner's finals position.
Yet again, just being... making the adjustments needed, especially after that first game where it just seemed like Montoon was gonna run over That1Dude. Like, literally closing with 1 perfect and 1 near perfect, and then snapping back with the next 2 games right there, constantly making the adjustments needed and running their game plan efficiently. That1Dude is moving on, but Montoon will hopefully make some strides in the loser side of our bracket. As we get into our next game here, we have Slow yet again for the 3rd time on stream versus Manil, who hasn't been on stream, but they very much so are a BBB regular here.
Yeah. I do want to just make one comment on that last before we jump into this too much. I believe, if I'm right, I think that is That1Dude's first time beating Montoon in bracket, in Boston League at least. Because I feel like I've seen them play so much, and you normally ends up in Montoon's favor, but That1Dude had the right adaptation. So I just wanted to do a shout out for that. If I believe the stats are correct, as we get into Slow versus Manil, it's going to be Linne versus Merkava, and this is a matchup that I at least know from, actually, really from both players. You should be very, very confident with, right? Slow obviously having a very strong Merkava in April, available at Region all the time. Manil, on the other hand, living in that Northeast, having plenty of different Linne players to be fighting again and again. I don't know exactly how many are in the Quebec area, but it is a character that if you're in the Northeast, you should be regularly fighting. So we're going to be seeing a lot of this as we go through. Manil just showing a clinic, but it's fine. We'll reversal out Slow. Get the chance to breathe a little bit right here.
And getting the EX flip in right there. Decent chunk of damage for that right there.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Just fly up, hit that fireball, and we move on to the next round.
Oh, they let go back for like 1 frame right as the slowest up back fireball connects right there. So, once again, just doing a great job setting the worms down, trying to catch slow shielding, trying to just see what their habits are when the worms are on top of them. But in the meantime, Slow just staying patient, waiting for opportunities just like that for the run up 2A.
And from here, we take a nice little knockdown. Not the most damage in the world, but sometimes Linne, sometimes this is Tickle Monster right here.
Well, in this matchup, especially where Merkava can just, like we saw right there, float to the top of the screen, and Linne doesn't have Hyde 3C, doesn't have Gordeau 2C, doesn't have those big, super vertical anti-air options, but does have the air options to close the distance. So you'll be seeing that come up a little bit more. I like that Mugen CS right there to see what Manil was doing, but they're just willing to hold down back, not wanting to take any big risks. 2C does connect, but we weren't ready for the pickup right there, as it's always a pretty dangerous situation, and Manil doing a good job. Gonna calm right now, trying to keep up the life totals.
And Slow backing off with the minions right there. Catching the reversal and punishing with the throw right there.
I started to get worried because I realized it's like, does Manil actually have enough time to kill at this point?
Yeah.
Even I think if they got a full combo, it still would have been a light lead into Slow's favor, and it would have had to be a big scramble situation to really close it out right there. But that's a different timeline that we'll have to see in another day. Right now, what we are seeing is Slow just once again locking Manil down in the corner.
Right now, another throw here, but Manil pressing out right here. We got decent amount of damage, decent amount of corner carry, and the minions are out. The bugs are back.
Yeah, but they're not back for long. Dive kick connecting right there on a delay 5cc press, expecting them to stay on the ground. So Slow gonna have to hold these mid-screen worms. So they just immediately back away, and I love this. You back away to think that you're expecting a lot, and just immediately run forward right before they activate. But Manil able to keep calm with the 2-1-4 steer conversion right at the very end with the CS, able to take game number 1.
Yeah, a bit of a comeback towards the end right there. Slow for most of that round doing a really good job of keeping Manil down, but Manil finding the one chance that they need right there to make the strides that they need to.
See if they can keep it up. Yeah. I do like this from Slow. Basically, any opportunity where there is a gap, they're just trying to represent GP to force Manil to start making these safer options, which in turn would allow them to play a little bit safer or take these bigger rewards to get out of the pressure. But right now, Slow just trying to play the long game right here for the anti-air, bringing you from the skies back down into the ground. And that should be enough for Manil to take that round and put themselves 1 health bar away from moving on to that winners finals.
And catching Slow right there, maybe for just trying to go up and do that dash 2A that they've been prone to doing, and getting caught for their DP right there too with the bugs. That's going to be a decent amount of damage right there. They're looking for a shield here. Great DP on the side of Slow here.
Araiguma as well, recognizing that Manil just keeps wanting to show dive kick in these scrambles, which is like it's a very good option, especially versus a character with not as like safe anti-air options as we were talking about before. But Slow showing once again, as soon as I have you locked down to the corner, that's all I need to really close it out. Securing another round, but we'll see if it is enough. Fully close it out right here. Good blocks on Manil, but you can't block forever.
They'll do push to the corner here off the smart steer ender. Good tech on the throw from Manil here. They've one cycle going into this, but Slow just pressing on it anyway. But again with this knockdown, we spend the EX here. And baiting the VO right there. And Slow capitalizing as much as they can off of this. With the EX, they are able to close out that round and close out this set.
Yeah, Slow, just playing very good.
Oh, shoot. I said set. Apologies.
No. We got more games.
Game. I said set instead of game. I apologize, chat.
There were so many different actions that happened. You're like, wow, surely that's enough for one whole set. Nope, that's just one game. This is Undernight, baby. We've got a lot of layers that we're playing on top of, a lot of decisions that are being made right here. Just like the decision on, they're going to throw, but Slow said, nah, I'm taking to the skies. Eat this Assault IW. The 0 damage IW, but it closes out the round regardless.
The 0 damage invalid IW, mind you.
Yeah. It's like, But hey, that's showing you a lot of players do opt to not immediately start delay teching, or to start teching to try to catch like delay techs, or some reset opportunities, and sometimes you can gain an advantage of those players' habits, and that's something we've seen from Slow a couple times on stream, that they're able to catch people out for some free damage. But hey, it's bracket. You take it where you can get it, just like you are taking all the momentum away from Manil after winning that last round. You just IW'd into IW for essentially two perfects. I'm calling the second one a perfect, even though one tick of health is gone. And now you could say that Slow gets the set, because that is what they did. You were predicting the future. You weren't incorrect. You were just early.
Yeah, but somewhat of a fortune reader,
Yeah.
Somewhat. That being said, Manil will be moving on to the loser side of the bracket, where we can hope to see them yet again. They will be facing the winner of our upcoming game, which should be Teemo versus Dragon.
Yeah, this should be exciting. These are two players who I definitely see around the block, but not ones that I get to see play a whole lot. I know Dragon is East Canada, if I remember correctly. And then Teemo, I believe is also Northeast. So these two players may have played each other on the Danison circuits on the ranked, the ranked sphere. So it'll be interesting to see if we have some kind of like player matchup that comes through that maybe we're not fully aware of. Teemo did just come off of earlier, about a month ago, a first place win in TMN Neo. So definitely really proving themselves and making the grind as well. Showing that hey, they are in this top 8, still fighting for their chance for that first place prize.
Shouts out to the people over at TMN. I know a decent amount of people who run it for BlazBlue. So shouts out to all of you.
Yeah.
There appears to be like a consistent crop of some pretty solid players that have pulled through.
Yeah, the TMN scene. I mean, the TMN scene is responsible for so many different players, especially within the UNI2 range, that are really just like given an opportunity to, show like, hey, I can learn this game, but I maybe not need to run into the defiant big black silent knots wall in my random net play tournaments, which can happen from time to time. So,
I'm reminded yet again that Silent told me he was gonna enter this bracket and then proceeded to get American Psychoed for his house. That being said, we're talking about what is happening and not what ifs. And we have Teemo versus Dragon, and right now Hyde versus Byakuya. As mentioned beforehand, Hyde, incredibly strong character. Very well-rounded. He's God's perfect soldier, I suppose you could say. Whereas Byakuya, you've seen Byakuya's all throughout the history of this game. Whether it's like as far back as like Clear Lamp, or if it's Big Black currently. Character with very strong mid-range, put you in the corner, and just absolutely mess you up. I'm seeing a whole lot of that. The king. Yes. Yes. Oh. Yes. It sets us offline on Don't blame Chris. Blame their ISP. No, we are not. Yeah, it was essentially like half of the first round. If they played out the first round, I assume it's up to Tio's discretion whether or not they want to replicate how the first round was, or if they want to just run things fresh. I imagine since the match literally just started, they're just gonna run it fresh. I will do it for you all yet again. You can consider me a little bit of a gracious little angel for it. Claim those codes, please.
我が弟白夜があなたを食らいに来た。リバイブ近くで見よう。気を防げるか。ほらどう料理して渡す。目障りだ。仕掛けておっちゃう。結構だよ。無駄なこと料理に実装し。やりやがれ。力で死ぬだね。手が取れるって。どうだそう危ないここ無駄なこと十分だ今のでもね行こえおう終わらねえ止めてきたあらよ無駄なこと目障りだどこにまだ耐えてみせるこうなったらさせよ目障りだ仕込んでおくそうはいくまだまだそれになんねそれ危ねえじゃあみじん切りがいいかな分かったセカンドクローズリバイブ高まるねいろいろにかかる気合いたいよ突き刺せこっかわせみじん切りがいいこっち逃げ場なんてないよ仕掛けて足元仕込んでやりやがれせいやこうだカウンターそうね足元でやるかどうだ飲み込めどうだ生活だろカウンター読めるちょっとカウンターそうぶっ飛べファイナルクローズリバイブどう料理しこっちに突き破りたいよ突き刺せほらどう料理し逃げ場なんてないよ足元ちっちゃいそうはいく逃がさね8分そうだみじん切りがいいかもこっちにそうだシャレになんねみじんこっちにみじん切りがいいかもしてるいいねその足元こっちにやりやがれみじん切りがいいかもほら終わるわけにしてないどう味付けしよう飽きてきちゃったんだね一部にね
I believe we may be back.
Woo! Everybody say woo! Okay.
Welcome back. Apologies for the technical difficulties here, but we are returning back into the set with some high octane action here for UNI2. We're Dragon just oppressing Teemo here. While we weren't able to commentate due to the technical difficulties, we were able to acknowledge Teemo's insistence to try to make things their turn.
Yeah, Teemo really seems to be prioritizing trying to find opportunities to press in high block strings, which I think is good if you're expecting the Hyde player to be going for a lot of these bigger delay staggers, right, or going for some more recent opportunities. However, Dragon has just been keeping their routing very, very tight, right, trying to go for more like standard issue frame traps. Yeah. And it's getting a lot of reward out of it, right? To the point that you're now seeing Teemo like almost fully change their game plan right here. In fact, they're trying to go for a throw type of Wreck King through, but instead holding the plus strings, and now we finally get the party started with a good 5-8 press afterwards.
Yeah, and it is worth noting Dragon recognizing their insistence to try to mash out of these circumstances and going for stuff like these Brekka starters to snuff things out. Like that right there.
Teemo had the loop going. They got the hit. they were they were able to keep them in the web. They were able to open them up out of the web. They didn't have any web set on top, so they could get the good damage routing as well. And then just unfortunately couldn't find an opportunity to finish their combo. So
yes, we're so back, chat. We are so back.
we are. It's never been more back than it is right now. Just like these players should be holding back if you don't want to get counter hit, because that's just what happened to Teemo right there as they were pressing with the big 6-6C. But Dragon not able to get a huge reward off that confirm, but they will find one off of this. It's a grid break damage. Finally fades off, but they do still have the Vorpal benefit. They keep them locked down in the corner. This is where you want to be, but now you're getting grid broken. Web set on top. This is a scary spot to be in.
Yeah. Good tech on the throw right there from Teemo, but Teemo also recognizing that second hit of Rekka's a pretty decently easy spot to shield, take your turn back.
Dragon just staying very on point right now, knowing the kind of momentum swing that they've gotten through these past couple of rounds. But I love this from Teemo, expecting maybe that Rekka to come out once again, but also just utilizing the 3C to cover a lot of that forward space. Able to let him steal the corner, keep these life totals even. Good tech outs though from Dragon, continuing to try to open them up, and Teemo just showing they are always ready to go for the shield counter onto the Rekka attempt. There's no big punish, but Dragon getting this big opportunity here.
Yeah, bringing them to the corner with significant amount of damage, but getting thrown back into the corner. Baiting the VO out. Just very confident defense, but always, picking an option here. Teemo getting the punish on the second hit of Rekka there. They able to finish this out.
No, it was too close for the VO, but it's fine. We still get the run-up pressed as Dragon is wanting to do anything to get out of the corner right there. But we are now in final game, final round.
And making up for the little flubs that they have here. Dragon in very good position, and like that, using the Rekka, they've been doing this all set, using the Rekka to go for the 2B and the 2C as well, just constantly using it to high profile them, and Dragon closing things out 2-1 in their favor.
Great stuff from Dragon right there. Knew that if they dragged on with the set, it may be going into the Byakuya's favor, so they wanted to try to find ways to end it as quickly as possible, and then we'll be moving on forward into our losers quarters. Gonna be fighting against Manil, but before we get to that, we are going to see LuFL versus JIP'd.
And when you said drag on, I immediately thought of Dragon Guard. Especially because I just did a near cosplay. That's where my head is.
I'm only familiar with Dragon Dragoon. Thank you.
Guys.
But we won't be dragging on this joke any more than that right here as we're getting our players into our next match. It's going to be Phonon versus Wald, which is like weirdly a match that has like it's kind of shifted over what's it called, like what players think it is, like some people, those times are like, oh, it's Wald favored, oh, it's Phonon favored, oh, it's pretty even. I think it really does just come down to the kind of players that are in the matchup that really change how the spread can go. And LuFL is a player that likes to get down and dirty in an up close, which is not the same for every Phonon player, and sometimes that could be a pretty advantageous situation for the Waldstein player, right? Knowing that you just have those super quick options to catch him out, but at the same time, LuFL has a ton of tricks up his sleeves to be able to open people up that maybe you're not as ready for if you're not grinding the LuFL matchup specifically. So we will have to see what is able to come out on top as we get into our final losers round 1 match right here.
And as you mentioned, LuFL, bit of a tendency to ditch the whole more zoning mindset that a character like Phonon might encourage.
Yeah, like you saw from the get-go, we were playing some honest strike throw from the get-go. So we'll see if let's keep it up now, staying up a little bit closer, knowing that some of the big advantages a Phonon can get is these bigger stagger windows. So Jack, though, staying patient. As soon as I say that, though, the curse of commentary has been brought upon me and pressed into it. LuFL finding a big hit right here. Should be able to put into a very scary spot.
Just messing on the anti-air. Chaco blocking with his life on the line, literally. And sneaking in the command grab right there. With CS, it's gonna be a decent amount of damage. Bring them into the corner with the Broly grab, as I like to call it.
Yeah, the good old-fashioned God press, but Jack just continuing to find opportunities to reset up LuFL again and again. And this is the scary spot, right? Like, you need one more big hit. We're gonna just go swipe in a row. You block rock the first time, you're not gonna see it again.
Another thing worth noting, very unfortunate going into the smart steer there, but worth noting that when these two characters trade in neutral, more often than not, it's probably going to be Waldstein getting the better end of it, both between his higher health and his generally higher damage on individual hits. So if Jack finds those circumstances where, where they might end up trading into a normal, it could just be advantageous.
See, though, right now LuFL trying to lock him down. Good press right there with the 2B to catch the bottom press going through and mixing them up as well. Catch a good grid of breaks. That should be LuFL. Even saying optimal with the CS conversion at the very end to tie this first round up.
LuFL trying to go for the 3C meaty right there, but Chaco waiting on their get up right there.
Yeah, LuFL also showing that to be able to cover it with an EX option as well, should that they try to press out as a punish opportunity for it. So good on them for staying as safe as possible. But you're getting scooped up right here.
It's a big 4C starter here. Just shy of 4K right there, and into the command grab. Jacko.
Yeah, we have seen time and time again with Jacko on stream matches that once they put you into the single command grab range, that they are going to be right. It is not a choice for you to make. It is a choice for Jack to confirm how they want to win this set. It's time and time and time again. They have shown that it's basically a checkmate situation. But one thing that I've been noticing, and maybe if players have been watching the stream, that they would, or some of these other matches, that they would have caught up on this. Jack has been repeatedly showing once they're in that 2,000 life range that they're just going for 360. Again and again. So maybe people might catch on those habits as the rest of the tournament goes on, but we'll have to see if LuFL can find those habits of their own.
And big hit with the sweep right there. Just shy of 3.5 right there. And the swipes get the counter hit, but we're not able to finish the job right there.
full advantage of that. Has 200 meter on deck, so could opt for the extender, but the routing allowed them to stay safe, potentially use it later on, but Jack with the 214C gonna stay safe, and LuFL just willing to hold down back right there. We already saw both players playing on that next layer. We were just talking about how Jack in the same situation has shown command grab again and again and again, but LuFL goes, you will miss again. And was right, Jack wanted to go for strike, or was expecting maybe even something like EX Geyser or VO. Great adaptations from both of these players to show that they're willing to move up the layers.
Great blocks from Jacko on the 2 attempts at crossing up right there from LuFL. Getting the swipe right there. Staying same side, I'm pressing out of the restand. It's LuFL right there. Rounding that at a solid 4K. And catching them with the fireball right there. Closing it out with some resources.
Yeah, gets to go for EX Rekka right at the very end right there. With the CS to just guarantee all of the maximum refunded. I love that. That is a practice punished for those kind of rounds. So expecting for any kind of whip cancel follow through, but LuFL knowing that they're ready for that, forcing Jacko to VO right there if they want to have any kind of reversal option, but LuFL just walks right back in and says, you're going to take the second combo regardless.
Taking this knockdown right here and catching the attempt at a 3D right there. No punish, but still your turn. And that's arguably more important than anything right there. That being said, Jack built so much grid in the process of that. Not gonna matter with the TK Fireball right there.
Yeah, was able to tick over into Celestial as well, so has 200 on deck, but you gotta use it or you're gonna lose it, and LuFL is making them lose it, tying it up 1-1, not giving them any kind of opportunity to spend those resources that they built at the last moment, which is a great it's a great layer to show that's like, hey, I'm not gonna let you think, I'm not gonna give you time to even consider what you could do with all that meter on deck if we get to that point. So loving this stuff coming out for LuFL right now. I think it's gonna be really up to Jack to make a big decision to stop the momentum that LuFL has had control of so far for the past couple of rounds.
And with the waves, they're able to get in there.
Yeah, not Jack recognizing the use of Gamma Wave being a very strong tool when LuFL doesn't have 100 meter, right? We saw the first couple of times that LuFL was able to snipe it out with like a delay air 2-2C when they would think the Gamma Wave would come in to set up some air blockables or some just good trip guard sets. So I like that they were just willing to use it more aggressively when the resources aren't available on deck, but now that they are, LuFL gets to regain that screen space, gets to regain the damage available on the table with this hit confirm as well.
And getting the cross up right there. LuFL closing out this round.
I got hit. I wasn't blocking that. I got hit. Jack now just staying patient, right? Trying to find more opportunities to add a little bit of chip damage as the set goes longer, but LuFL, I think, like I said, they have a layered game. That was almost incredibly, if that hit, I would have screamed. But yeah, I really like LuFL's, the layers that LuFL is sitting on with this game plan is being so effective versus Jack, and I really am curious to see what Jack is going to be able to do to prevent that 3C able to connect full screen, but we do find an air hit right there up to JC, so gonna be able to try to get some party started blocking the first swipe, not gonna block the second, gonna get counter hit, gonna get grid broken. This is where Jack wants you to be.
And a big counter hit right there to close out this round as well. Again, you were talking about what is Jacko gonna do. Like, it seems like LuFL came prepared with their own game plan, but Jacko is one of those players you can't let get running, or else he will maul you like a bear. Like that right there.
6FF trying to catch him off like an up forward attempt, expecting maybe body splash CS, but LuFL now popping into install to just keep their turn going. And like you say, that's been a very important part, but LuFL already sitting at just below a 50%, going to be out of meter, out of install, and out of a lot of health right here with this confirmed.
Just so much damage, well over 4k right here, in this practically a one-guess scenario for LuFL, but she decides to press out immediately.
Yeah, immediately pressing 5 because you're like, if I get hit by the grab, I lose. If I don't like block a delay overhead, I lose. Pressing is the only path to victory, and it's gonna be working out for them so far. First grab, but we just immediately swipes. Didn't have the meter on deck to punish it, but LuFL does what the guys are following, finds the jump in as well. This is what you want to see if you were on Team LuFL. Going to be putting them at a very, very close life total. This back though on Jacko's favor, and the shield one grab will do it.
Despite the green throw, Jacko sneaking in the command grab right there, and they will move on off that last hit scenario right there. Very unfortunate to see LuFL go out like that, but also Jacko just keeping cool and calm despite LuFL's adaptations and despite LuFL, you know, kind of showing the whole shebang, especially with that whole the cross up right there earlier in that set.
Yeah, and even bringing that back to try to make the big run-in to create the deficit, but just showing that really just want to like show how on point it was, because that's kind of a hard punish to gauge the distance on, and recognizing that you have the green shield to be able to push them out so that they won't be able to go for their cancel option that they were looking for. But because of that, it like creates the hesitation that allows you to just instant 360 to kill the round. It's a super heads up from Jack. Like really like big brain play right there, and I just want to make sure that that's appropriately called out. An excellent. They'll be going to fight Montoon in losers quarters, which is crazy because I feel like I have seen Montoon versus Jack in grand finals of these same kind of brackets, and it's happening in our losers quarters. Just kind of goes to show you the level of play that we have in a bracket like today, that anything is possible, and we'll be able to see what happens next as we get into Manil versus Dragon.
Okay, now Manil slowly going for some staggers right here, but Dragon with the up forward JA right there. Dive kick, my beloved.
Yeah, dive kick snatching the grid break right there, as well as a pretty big opportunity for Manil. We'll have to see what they can do to capitalize on it. Dragon, though, I think just staying very calm for a long period, but wanted to press out, and now gonna get appropriately rewarded for it.
Dude, that's one in a million. One in a manillion right there.
One in a manillion. Dragon though was locking Manil down in the corner. Even got shield in flight, but wasn't ready to fully punish it. I think that distance even still keeps it pretty safe. But one more force function grab gonna be coming out. Now these life totals are pretty even. Fireballs connect. Manil able to steal the life lead at the last moment, but the back side of the J2C coming out for Dragon, able to secure that round.
And now getting the throw, bringing them closer to the corner, but Dragon ready for the next.
Oh, yeah, utilizing the very early dive kick right there. Dragon saw it and he was like, oh, I'm going to stand shield punish, everything will be fine, but just getting grid broken once again in those same situations is very good for Manil. Tech's out to clear the worms, so you don't have to hold that Oki, but you do have to hold all of these lows.
And just wrecking out of Manil's pressure right there. It's kind of been seen from Dragon throughout this entire bracket. Anytime they're on stream, they very much so love that record like they're right there. That's going to be a significant amount of damage with Celestial, with all the meter in the world.
Yeah, it doesn't get the meter refund off of it, but it doesn't matter. We still, as I definitely thought we had another round to go. That was my brain was like, surely this was round 1, but no, that was round 2. Dragon just wanted to run through it very quickly.
Yeah, if the opportunity presents itself, I do hope Manil can get some more of these spacings off a dive kick that they've been getting, where it just so whiffs and catches Dragon for trying to, punish it properly.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can keep that up. Right now, like a big thing that has been with what we've seen of Dragon on stream, they are willing to just kind of get hit crazy style right there, but take a lot of damage in the early stages of it just to figure out exactly how you're thinking, and then just makes the full run all the way from top to bottom. But Manil shows, hey, I can't let that happen. I got to keep mixing you up. I have to keep you guessing if I want to stay alive in this bracket.
Put a little worm down here. Some more saggers into. It's been fairly standard strike throw fare on the side of Manil, at least when they're mid-screen.
Yeah, you can't really afford to go for like Worm Oki just because you can kind of back tech out and you're free from at least a lot of the pressure, unless you have some of the more dedicated like mid-screen Worm sets. But Dragon is showing that as long as you can let them get one good hit, that is all that matters. You're seeing them create these huge opportunities. Good block of the force function right here. Utilize the CS to try to catch him, but you were pressing. And the 2-3-6C will end up working for Manil, as well as getting the full combo afterwards. If they want to choose to, set in some good Oki, but we're just going to go single worm, try to see what Dragon is thinking. We're seeing that they're thinking shield, and then they're thinking DP. Dragon now 1 round away from securing this match.
We'll bring them down here. Got some more worms, and gets cracked open. It's going to be a significant amount of damage into some more worms. The bugs are back. But it doesn't matter, we 3D's pretty cleanly out. Even though it's not Dragon's turn, they're at least out the corner, and that's better than nothing.
Sorry, Dragon wasn't listening to you. They said it's my turn regardless. Finding that J6C right there. Wanted to keep their own turn going, so will spend the CBO just to guarantee the plus frames, and then finding another opening afterwards as well, going to give them a big reward for it. It's an extension right there, but we'll still take 5k. It's fine. It's fine.
Just a slight damage of an unfinished Hyde combo that only does 5k.
It's like the slight damage of a Merkava flight mix that's going to put you now into a one-touch situation in the corner. You don't have the CS, Manil does, so trying to find a big assault like that is not going to work out. And that's going to be Manil tying it up 1-1.
Yeah, Manil catching more of these, and Dragon very much so liking to do Rekka out of defense. Manil being more so on top of it, getting more opportunities to run their game plan, but they might not have the chance to. Dragon immediately getting the hit and bringing them to the corner off that anti-air right there.
Continuing that kind of momentum, right? This is a big thing with Dragon is I really feel like they do not let those last rounds affect them like mentally. They're willing to just go like, okay, I know what my win condition is, I know how I have to act to get you to die, and I'm going to do that until it either works or I lose. And so far, it's working out for them.
I mean, yeah, even though they have been caught on some of these, like, as I mentioned constantly, the Rekka seems to be very much a staple of Dragon's game plan. They still go for it regardless of Manil catching it or anything. It's just far too rewarding not to.
Yeah, and it's showing how can you condition the unconditionable. Unfortunately, I would like to see maybe going for some safer opportunities when Manil keeps having like 100 meter on deck, because Dragon really just going for some like soft BBs over and over again, and Manil just ripping these reversals again and again, getting a ton of value. But it doesn't matter. Dragon just be right once. Have you tried being right once when it matters the most? And that is what Dragon is doing.
Take them to the corner right here. You know, Dracula flow. The bugs are really back right here this time, and take another bit of a very strong bit of damage right here. 3.5k. Now putting Dragon into his one-touch scenario, but when you put a cage animal into a tough situation, they will be out there. They will take a risk right there. Dragon immediately turning the tides right here.
We've seen them in these kind of situations before, just like that. Not creating a reversal safe pressure sequence is allowing Manil to find these 2-3-6Es again and again and again. We are now in final game, final round for either of these players, and I'm very curious to see if Dragon has a way to change up their game plan right here from the get-go. But so far, playing footsies with the 2-2A should be the bigger start for them.
Getting a worm out, possibly, and try to keep the turn, but they use it to leverage a throw right there. Getting the punish on the pogo stick right there.
Great 2A press right there. Not able to find the hit just due to the weird spacing. And there we go. Finally getting an opportunity to punish the 2-3-6E. Now just going for some safe dash blocks to make it so that Manil can't fully capitalize on it. But hey, we still have 100 meter. We'll do it again. Challenging almost the force function attempt right there from Dragon. Right.
And catching the red mist off of that into the super. What a character, Hyde Hito.
I spent 200 meter and I still got to do the combo afterwards. Excellent stuff though from Dragon, doing Kira Yamamoto proud, and moving on forward to fight the winner of Montoon versus Jack Oat in the losers semifinals.
He gets 4.4k, even though the combo wasn't even finished, by the way. That was not the end of the combo. It doesn't matter. He gets it because he's the main boy.
He's on the box. What has fighting games always taught us? If they're on the box, you should play the character.
All I'm saying is that the Street Fighter players are saying that Ryu has like the Omnitrix charged by the Infinity Stone with patch. Like, I feel like it's pretty clear. I think the only like big fighting game that hasn't made their pro tag like at least like high tier or like anything like that recently is like, God, I can't even say recently because like CF is 10 years old.
I'm just thinking of now. I've got the Infinity Gauntlet with the Insulator, powered by the Void.
Dude, I saw that and I was like, dude,
it's a top 10 video of all time, and it's not 2 through 9. But here we go, Montoon versus the Jack of all time. Mika versus Wald is like I said, I feel like recently with performances from people like Montoon, people like Akimi, who's in the chat, and a couple other Mikas that are really showing off this character a lot more. Like, there was a long time it was like, who plays Mika? And now we know. And those players are really, really showing a lot of variety in how you have to play this character within these matchups. And Montoon has so far been doing a very good job against Jack and just constantly pressuring them. But once again, if Jack is right once, the snowball pressure is what starts. Swipes overhead CS right there.
Yeah, that being said, it is quite literally like this girl on a jetpack versus a walking fortress right here. It's a matter of trying to catch the little fly that's going around right here for Jacko and trying to essentially kind of annoy Jack to death on the side of Montoon here.
It is you are playing a little bit of fly swatter, right? Because she's just going to be buzzing around, trying to find opportunities to open you up, and if she gets rewarded for it, it's going to be very advantageous for her. But if Jack, like we saw in the last round, this exact same situation is like, no, let me be right once, and then let me be right again, and then let me be right again. But Montoon is showing that as long as you exist within the scramble, that is all that matters. Quickly tying up this first game.
And especially on a character like Wald, being right 3 times around is very much so rewarding. That hit at a like fucked up side.
Yeah, masterful gambit, Montoon. That's all I have to say about that. That setup. Yeah, but Jack still able to keep calm in the scramble once again. Finding ways to lock him down, catching him with delay overhead. It's kind of a recipe for Jack, right? Like they find a string that works. Like they go down their flow chart of like, okay, grab set works. Okay, we're gonna keep grabbing until we get this point. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay, wind cycle, and then okay, cool. Now we're just gonna keep throwing overhead CS. It's very effective. It's very, very effective, and I'm just curious to see how players are going to be wanting to quickly respond to these same situations that are happening over and over and over again. But as long as they're working, why would you stop?
Yeah, there's also the additional factor of like, especially a lot of grappler players, very much so will do a couple of options just so that they could watch to see if their opponent will hang themselves for them.
Yeah.
And Jack is very much so born of that cloth right there. Great side switch right there. Not giving up any damage either for it.
Yeah, speaking of trying to find opportunities where you could be digging your own grave right there, you saw Montoon trying to like catch him with 2FF, trying to catch him with some of these riskier options, see how that they want to respond, and Jack was just holding him down back for all of it. So then Montoon's like, okay, those gimmicks are going to work, we go back to plan A. And just sending this Mika missile in, finding a good grab once again. Ooh, is that going to be a very tricky situation, but Montoon showing that they're ready for it, and ready to find the big punish. 2FF getting the grab.
Got smarts here under here. Gets Yo here and catches the backdash with the claw right there. 1 round away from taking this set. Jacko.
Let's see if they can find a way to get back into maybe a safer version of that same situation, because it's a little risky. Montoon was ready for it, but right now Montoon is showing that once again they are making these mixes work, but Jack's willing to be blocking up for as long as possible, finds the creeping edge to escape the corner. Now Montoon has to hold all of the walled pressure, and they find an opportunity to get out with 6 succeed.
Catches the throw attempt right there with the throw bait. JA into the CS right there. Then simply take this round. Keep our meter going into this next round as well.
and we have seen Montoon in practically this exact same situation time and time again. But Jack has been the one to create those big upsets and create opportunities to allow them to secure rounds. So we'll have to see if that can happen. But right now, Montoon is looking like they're putting him in Scramble City once again, trying to mix him up like a batch for an omelet.
Montoon getting this potentially last knockdown, but Jacko just running up, back throwing them. Just straight whiffing.
Yeah, we couldn't punish it, but we'll still find the opportunity to overhead. We're going to extend this combo for as long as possible. Just make sure we keep all that VO timer. Taking 444 damage like a Jin player. Oh no. This is where exactly Jacko wants to be. Montoon trying to play safe, but finds good finally to press out, and that's enough to tie it up.
Not too bad at all from the side of Montoon right there. No, again, not being phased by that first game right there. Not being phased by literally being, moments away from having this set closed out on them. Seem to have this new confidence brought into them. Everything seems to just be working this round.
Yeah, but we've seen the same situation. Like, for both these players, we have seen the snowball effect work so well in their favor, and then these players are still able to find opportunities to make the comebacks. They're using this time where it's like, okay, yeah, I'm just getting snowballed. I'm going to try to get my way out, but I'm also thinking about the next opportunity, the next thing that I need to do to try and secure this. But Montoon turning the tides, now sitting on their own match point. Good backdash out of overhead, but you're going to get eaten by the Gamma Wave.
Fittingly, this massive, hulking creature, Jacko just mauling through Montoon right now this round.
Yeah, hey, this is what you did to me. Fine, I'm going to show you how it felt. We're going to lock you down once again, even resetting right there at the very end. Both players securing perfects to put ourselves in final game, final round. Mika Tornado out as the first starter. Catch Montoon pressing, and it looked like a Gamma Wave, but 720C going to give them the chance to even up the life total and reset back to the mid-screen. All the Mika missiles hitting right there. No need for the cross-ups as long as you're still getting damage regardless. Tried to see us, I think, to keep themselves safe, but ended up getting clipped at the very end regardless. Jack whiffing grab as well. Really trying to do anything to make Montoon bite onto any of the bait that's come out right here, but they're willing to hold down back. But you can't down back command grab.
Nearly catching them right there. And jumping Montoon's own command grab right there. That being said, Montoon getting the hit off of the Mika missile. And like that, keeping it simple, Montoon closing out this set, and they will be moving on in our top 8.
Yeah, excellent stuff from Montoon right there. I was a little worried that, okay, what kind of pranks is Moth going to be bringing out right here? But just I like that they just hard reset back to layer 1 when it mattered the most. We're just gonna go for the most stock Mika things, or not the most stock, but some more standard Mika pressure. And let's see if you remember how to deal with this after I've thrown 62 other layers at you over the course of this set. So great stuff for Montoon. They'll be moving on forward to fight Dragon. Unfortunately, I was hoping we'd get the Manil friend of Manil match happening, but those players will be sitting next to each other at this stage of the bracket. But we're going to be moving back up top to our winners finals here, as those players have been waiting a bit. They've been waiting to game with That1Dude versus Slow. And this is in our 3 out of 5 territory right here. Just like we're going to see we're going to see more than 3 out of 5 cat pictures as they're rolling through as we get our players all squared away. But folks, just as we get into our winners finals, I'd like to remind y'all once again, exclamation mark match arena. We have 25 codes and we have 77 people in watching this stream right now. Now, I'm not a doctor, but I think that's 3 times the amount of people to the amount of codes that we have. So we should be able to claim all those codes. Alright, but we are now getting into it slow versus that one dude. Let's see some Linne versus Gordeau action.
This matchup, a bit... You'll sometimes hear from both sides is a little annoying on either end. With Linne just having the movement to get past a lot of the stop signs that you've mentioned beforehand of Gordeau. And being incredibly annoying to Gordeau, like through her offense. However, Gordeau is just such a well-rounded character that could just snag games from people. He is literally the snatcher.
Yeah, but right now, Slow is showing some very big experience on her part. She's actually been playing a lot of Gordeau recently. Maybe, not sure if it's just like, playing the character for fun, or like playing it to try to help figure out what am I supposed to do in this matchup in particular. But it's definitely something that is going to be on our mind of what the Gordeau player is thinking of. But can you get into the mind of that one dude is the next question that you have to ask. Will we go for the fadeaway JA, trying to cover anything crazy to come out from Slow, but instead, Slow finding an opportunity to re-challenge, finding an opportunity to steal the corner right here.
And the TK 236C coming from that one dude. But just met with another DP from Slow.
Yeah, it's showing a lot of, obviously, he's been playing this matchup for quite a while, but just recognizing that, like, okay, the Linne player at this distance is going to want to go for 2C. They're also going to try to go for anything to live right there, but the 3C comes up. But, just like really heads up to that one to recognize, like, hey, I know the distances that you want to be playing at, and I know exactly how often you want to be presenting at any given time. Slow, though, does not let that slow them down at all. Continue to send out the big stagger right here. Not able to find a conversion that we're looking for, but it's fine. We take chip damage. It's a good old tactical American reset. Go on to the next bit.
And again, just CSing to close things out right there. Slow with a perfect right here. Going up, putting the first number on this board right here.
Yeah, great use as well of using Kuga Dash follow-up right there, just to guarantee any kind of hit confirm, as well as having the CS to cover. Just a very efficient way to close out the round right there and put yourself in a comfortable spot. But that one dude wants to put you in some uncomfortable situations, is all Gordeau players want to do, but the throw whip at that spacing so Slow almost got a chance to continue the pressure with a good creeping edge. End up working for that one dude. Slow, though, still able to find a hit after a little bit of a scramble with like a weird force function interaction on the second hit of Mortal Slide.
That again, just the smothering pace that Linne can set. Maybe a bit of a misinput on the side of that one dude. That being said, Slow's gonna capitalize off of it and make it his problem, even if he didn't intend to. And with the JA CS, Slow up another round here.
Yeah, but we've seen these rounds quickly go back into that one dude's favor at any given time, right? You're seeing him play a little bit slower, right? Not as committal to throwing us over like higher risk, higher reward stop signs, those 623s, sending out some of those more risky mortal slides as they now seem to decide as like a little reaction FF them if they're in a position, and instead just going to take some advantage of some of these red beats that are coming through. As long as looking to delay tech. Dash walk. Try and do whatever we can to get in 2-2 CCS, but you are not safe from a 5A from slow.
Could again get this knockdown here. Catching the 2C attempt from That1Dude right here. Again, another throw.
I love this delay right there. That1Dude not want to take any big risks because they know if they try to do something that Slow was ready for, it was going to spell death for them. Slow, fortunately for That1Dude, forced them into a situation where you have to gamble. Slow ends up being the victor in that situation. Now up to set 2-0. This is our winners finals. This is 3 out of 5. We have more time to download, more time to think. A lot can happen right here. We'll have to see if That1Dude can find the opportunity to make this comeback, or if Slow will be looking to close out the set.
And just run up, getting the grid break off of the throw right here. That guarantees that they get cycled this time around. And snuffing out a lot of That1Dude's mash attempts, a lot of their attempts to get out on defense, and Linne and Slow practically being tailor designed to stop That1Dude from trying to do anything on defense.
Just looping into this pressure again and again and again, like you were saying, Slow wanting to have full dominance over the set for as long as possible. That1Dude is showing me, okay, my back is to the wall. I've got to do something to change the future. We'll see what it is. Here's the sim number 1. A sim number 2 not going to come as they try to catch for a 2C, but it's ends up being in Slow's favor. That1Dude still finding ways to block it down. Good tech out.
Yeah, again, another throw. And just hitting them right there, just confident, just to go say screw it, dude. You're not gonna be able to have the just straight up frame data to cover the same space as me in the same amount of time as that I want to. As he says, you can't run from the small rat, and Slow closes this out, making it look easy with the 3-0.
Yeah, excellent stuff right there. That1Dude was been kind of running a tear through this bracket so far, but Slow finally, apropos, coming to slow down. So that'll be Slow on the winner's side of grand finals. We'll have to see if they can lock it in and close out this Boston Blue Beat under there, with the crown on their head. But first, we have to make our run through our losers semis. That is going to be That1Dude back in that losers finals, and then we have Dragon versus Montoon. Now, important to note that Montoon and That1Dude have played each other before, right? That was our winner semis in top 8, so that would be a run back if we get to that set. But Dragon and That1Dude have not played at all this entire tournament. So it could theoretically be very interesting. Also impressive on Dragon's end. I didn't even realize this. Dragon lost round 1. They lost
So
in level 1.
they've been in the losers run this entire time.
Yes.
In fact, they've outlived the person who eliminated them round 1.
Yep, didn't even give them the opportunity for the run back as they've progressed further. So this is potentially a crazy run from Dragon right here. I didn't even realize that until we got into this. But now we are getting Hyde Keto versus Mika last name. This matchup is on paper like sometimes a little rough for Mika playing. just because Hyde generally have a lot of controls to stop from advancing forward and getting up close, and then even when you get into that up close situation, it tends to be a spot that Hyde players will want to be. Now, that's not to say I haven't seen Montoon win this match before or find ways to get out of it, but Dragon is showing, hey, I love this Rekka series right here, and I'm going to keep using it.
Akimi, my response to this matchup sucks. Which Hyde matchup doesn't suck?
Oh, the mirror. The mirror's pretty fun.
What isn't fine is Dragon after that that BBB just straight goes into the air.
Look, I respect it. Sometimes you have to stunt or die. Right now you're kind of following over the second line of it as they were looking for a way to just end with DP. Oh my god, are you dead? Oh my, you lost the round because you wanted to be fancy with it. But that's fine, that happens. Sometimes it happens, and sometimes it happens in the league and semis, and you'll never let it happen again. Or you try your best. But Moth, I think, gonna be taking a huge amount of recognition going, okay, cool. This is... I can ignore all the parts I don't like about this and just focus on getting to that same scenario again and again. Right now, Dragon locked them down once again. Moth can do whatever they can to stay alive. Green shield! Throw its plus. Throw its plus. Dragon knows it.
Dragon putting themselves in the corner might not be the best situation if Montoon could get something rolling here. They've started their turn, but Dragon finding the hit right there to close out the round, preventing the potentially pretty bad situation right there.
And that's one of those things we were talking about before, that Hyde just has great buttons to challenge Mika up close. And knowing at that distance that neither of your fighters are going to be able to connect. If she dashes up to get up close, you're still going to have this button be on the block. Just being able to utilize something like 5E and something like BB right there. Following J6C to cover their air approaches. You just have so many different options to stop the Mika player from getting in. Very, very good spot to be in. Moth, though, just staying patient, but the Mika Tornado coming in and finally catching them. Doesn't make any kind of run attempt right
there. And Baiting got the DP again, right there. That's the kind of continuous lapse that might prevent Dragon from DPing in future parts of the set.
I've seen a couple games of that. I don't think that's not DPing that. That's not like oh, they're just gonna do it. Like they have their layers and they are willing to come into them. And seeing how much a Dragon has been wanting to be in those similar situations, I think you'll be seeing that come up again and again. But Dragon is doing, I think, trying to do more of a job of not allowing that situation to exist from the get-go, right? You saw a lot of that early aggression out to lock Moth, and we're going to Moth, though, finding ways to get out. Oh, I think that concentrate was supposed to be a shield, but unfortunately just hit neutral instead of one of the sides that you wanted to be on. Still able to get out, still able to utilize that Rekka. No, neutral once again. Fireball connects, but not ready for the follow-up, but it's okay. The 6-6C will be the thing that allows us to stabilize this routing. Should be enough to secure the round is what I would say if I wanted to curse Dragon.
So you're saying you wanted to curse Dragon?
I'm saying that once again, you're the fortune reader. You should have told me that I was going to curse them. This is not you. This is not on me.
It's on me now. Curious. Typical West Coast.
No, it's typical League of Legends. Nice. Good run up throw right there. Montoon kind of getting blown up with some scan text that we've seen a couple times. Dragon, I think, recognizing them, knowing that they can do things. So they get throw punishes off them. DP once again, like we said, we've seen this situation before where Dragon just wants to bully their way through these rounds. Green shield, but already trying to go safe right there, so not able to punish it accordingly. Throws whiff, but Moth not pressing into it, so able to stay a little bit safer, just staying with staggers. 2 A's. Really up the Dragon to close out this round right here.
Just barely finding that last hit right there. Still staying in it. Mika catching the Mika missile right there. It's a nice little knockdown here. Not spending any meter for any OP, and Montoon just 3Ds out. We're back to neutral here. Big for Montoon here to get them back in the corner here. Good block from Dragon on the Mika missile though. Just spaced out just enough. Flipping Dragon.
Nice big hit right here. You don't have cycle, so you're not able to kill. You'll need a one more touch afterwards, but this is this match point that you want to be on Moths, and you want to find some kind of way to be tricky and open them up, and that's going to do it for Moth, able to take the set 2-0 over Dragon.
Yeah, again, very impressive showing from both players right there. Sadly, it's going to be the end of Dragon's, I guess, a bit of a Cinderella run here. Going from the bottom all the way to top 8, so it...
Not just top 8, to all the way up to 4th place. Like making it into top 8 and then winning 2 through the top 8 to show that, hey, I'm someone that you have to be worried about. So definitely, if this is a player who's not on your radar and you're someone who I think should be, I'll just be blunt. Wasn't on my radar. So I believe they said it for East Canada, and I don't know all the guys out there. Not as many of them are able to travel to the bigger events in the U.S. But if Dragon's out at something, I know I'm going to be tuned in because definitely excited to see their runs continue on further. But I'm also excited to see a rematch of our first top 8 match, Montoon versus That1Dude.
We're getting the rerun, as you mentioned beforehand. Last time, That1Dude taking it with Montoon, seeming to be a bit more on a roll right here, and perhaps could be a change of picture here, especially after That1Dude just getting beaten very one-sidedly in winner's side of bracket, so perhaps their mentality might be shot or at least weakened enough for Montoon to capitalize off of it as well.
Yeah, we'll have to see, because, like I said, these are two players that have also played each other a lot in this very young tournament series, right? So they have a lot of player history that comes in. They're going to be playing on some axes that maybe aren't as expected, because you're just looking at these player reads. You were expecting a sim to connect right there, and that's why That1Dude went for it. But unfortunately, it was a little too far out. Montoon got the good recognition to be able to punish it appropriately, but That1Dude immediately resetting the tempo back into their favor.
And just getting the throw beat right there, just running up and assaulting. Keep the knockdown simple here. Doesn't matter. That1Dude just reciprocating immediately with a throw. Plus on the TK right there.
Yeah, and I love that, just extending the route as long as possible. Even though you already had the meter, just keep the habits in the same situations where you don't. nice patience for that one dude, just willing, like not trying to throw out a cheeky reaper in these gaps, not trying to go 2C to catch him out. Just wants to wait until they can get an opportunity where they know that they can press and get their own punish. Unfortunately, Moth is playing very, very patiently of their own to prevent that situation from happening, and is continuing to lock him down. Catches the 3C attempt from that one dude.
And catches with the last falling normal right there to take the round yet again.
Up, they were looking to try to press right there, but Mika Tornado going in Montoon's favor right here. Like you were saying before, trying to utilize some of that momentum that's coming from the previous rounds into this game might be a pretty advantageous spot for Montoon to be in, but we'll have to see if they can make this full run.
2-2-C reversal right there, getting a little bit of extra combo attached to the end of it.
Oh, great air-to-air right there. With the G2-4.
Look at right side of it.
It's all good. The pressure's all good right here. 2-3-6 with that mortal slide.
It's gonna be very solid amount of damage. Very funny about Mortal Slide is actually one of Gordeau's best starters.
Yeah.
That being said, it's not gonna matter too much when Montoon with the reversal closes out the first game of this set.
Well, you were talking about Mortal Slide being a great starter. Montoon's best starter is winning the first game, right? Because I think pretty consistently when Montoon is winning game one, even if the set goes long, it tends to lead into Montoon's favor the longer it goes out. Like the That1Dude versus Montoon set before was That1Dude taking game number one. And I think in the set that the other sets previously have all been Montoon taking those first games.
That's a very fair point to be made. Montoon kind of preferring the momentum to immediately be on their side so that they could overwhelm their opponent, perhaps. But that's a massive grid break right there on this side of that one dude. Keeps this combo very simple.
Plus frames, just locking Montoon down once again, trying to make them guess, trying to make them do something scary, but instead they're just going to be opened up with the delayed 5A right here. Once again, keeps the cycle into that one dude's favor, being able to end at the BSM.
And with the fuzzy right there, that one dude going for the CSM ender right there.
Nice right there, being able to utilize the feint to get the throw. Montoon expecting the block high, not being ready to check it out, but they said, oh, okay, we're playing like that? Fine, let's get down and dirty.
And finding the spacing right there very naturally, and just barely making their way past that one dude's attempt at a 5C right there. The punish on the reversal this time. It's not in the corner, but there's more than enough resources on the table to clean things up. Clean 5K from Montoon. Going up another round.
Montoon can keep it up right here. That one dude can continue to find some opportunities right here. But Montoon once again finding every opportunity to clip out that one dude appropriately. We were talking about how Gordeau has a lot of these options or ways to prevent Mika from really just playing on the screen how she wants, but if she gets the right reads to go for counterplay, she can punish Gordeau a lot. And Montoon has been so good at preventing that one dude from being able to just like freely press whatever they want to catch him out. Once again, the 5A connecting right here.
Especially off of the force toss frames right there, off of the TK.
Oh, I didn't even realize we were in even grid right there. So both players having Vorpal on deck, but Montoon recognized that they could use it to the fullest effect and take this second game in our losers finals. We are in 3 out of 5 territory. We are in our losers finals, so we still have potentially 1 more game, maybe 4 more games. We'll have to find out.
Maybe, but we'll see what these players have to say about that idea right there. That1Dude seems like it would be kind of interesting if there were 4 more games.
Yeah. Well, that's what you want to be seeing. You want to be able to make this run back into that winner's side. Montoon not gotten a chance to play slow yet, but That1Dude I know wants that run back from that winner's final, so we'll have to see who can get it right here. That1Dude, though, was looking pretty clean to keep him locked in the corner, but Montoon getting this great jump out once again, but CSM coming through going to allow them to steal the corner.
Great DP on the side of Montoon here.
Recognizing that they were just going for UNI2C, so be able to punish them to the fullest effect.
Good cast from the side of That1Dude, but it won't matter when you get snagged by the command grab right there.
This is something I really like about Montoon's game plan is they are. You'll see a lot of people who always want to try to save 100 bar going into these next rounds, and while I think there is some like usefulness to that, but for Mika especially, cashing out with your meter just to guarantee these mix-ups to kills has been so effective for players over and over and over again. Great creeping edge out though after That1Dude has landed a couple of pretty strong hits right here, but they'll be landing 1 more, and the Grim Reaper OTG will allow them to tie it up. Montoon though still sitting match point.
And a big grid break off of the 6-6C from the side switch right there. Gonna just add insult to injury right there. Forcing the VO out from That1Dude.
Grid broken right here, but the creeping edge expecting something to be coming up from Montoon, but nothing was the response. Creeping edge once again just saying, get me out of here. I want to go back to the mid screen. I want to go back to being able to press 5A.
Not able to hit confirm off that 5A. That being said, making up for it with this throw confirm. VO from the side of Montoon.
Oh no, VO, That1Dude had UNICLR brain rots on UVO. Okay, I VO, but the VO don't work. Montoon is able to kill off of this though without having the meter on deck, able to stay plus. Now maybe has a chance to make this comeback. No, not able to finish the routing.
Right now, just trying to play the range game that Gord plays best, and such a sneaky 2v right there from That1Dude. But yet again, we need the nerves. It's top 3 right here, and Montoon just being the master of this little chaos that they've made for themselves, and moves on to grand finals for it. That being said, That1Dude, you make it this far. It is no slight at all to make it this far.
Oh man, he was so right. He had the right. Just like I don't know if he didn't like wasn't ready for it, didn't see the cycle tick over, but if he just was able to like reaction check on the VO with CS in the middle of his sim, he would have been able to stay safe and block it and punish to beat Montoon right there. Just an unfortunate situation right there. Like you were saying, excellent stuff to That1Dude. Great, an amazing run through this bracket so far. Just like I was so ready to see you confirm that. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But we have to get on to the next one. We have to get on to what is potentially the final match. There could be one more, but before even all of that, we've got some things to talk about, like the event that you're watching right now. BBB Online which runs weekly events at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. That's 5 p.m. Pacific. And the schedule's changing up a little bit starting this upcoming week, where we're going to be having Marvel Mondays for Marvel Tokon, and then Guilty Gear XX Accent Core Plus R on Tuesdays. Wednesdays, of course, belongs to Undernight-in-Birth 2 Sistema Celeste, and Thursdays now belongs to Blaze Blue Central Fiction 2.0. So please make sure if you're interested in any of these that you sign up, and as well as for all of these, they will all have Matcherinos, which we still have some codes to claim for tonight. ! Matcherino, claim those codes.
Yeah, so none of the games are changing at all. That being said, if you're in the Boston area, maybe you can get a bit of a change up here, as there's Boston Blue be in person at Balance Patch August 8th in 3 days. You'll be able to play some Grand Blue, Guilty Gear, every single Guilty Gear you could ask for. Maybe there'll even be someone with a missing link setup if it's a good enough bit. Along with some Sailor Moon S, some M-Back, UNI2, just like you're seeing it here. Additionally, Blaze Central Fiction, Boston, very known for both BlazBlue and Uni. On top of it all, they have both of the new games that are going around right now, with Avatar Legends and Tokon, both making their debut at this monthly. And if you want to make your debut, there is another event happening October 3rd and 4th that will do you just well. Make your debut to Durham Convention Center for XQXL, the promised day. There's all the prior games mentioned, everything that you'll see here, and more. I don't know about you, Tabby, but it looks like an amazing event to head towards. You mentioned possibly going yourself, actually.
Yeah, if I can finagle it, I'll finagle it. But we'll have to see, because this event is going to be super sick to see in person. So especially if you're in the southeastern United States, you should make sure that you check this out. Because like we were saying, it's got all the mainline gear games. It's got Stride, it's got Plus R, and it's got Exert. So those are the only ones you need to play. And it's also a 4-star event for the Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising World Tour. So make sure that if you're a Grand Blue player, you gotta be tapping into this. That's gonna be points that lead you into your own World Tour system, as well as this is where the VSAV Makai World Cup is taking place. This is one of the premier Vampire Savior tournaments in North America. So if you love VSAV, you gotta be showing up, which you probably already are. But if you didn't know, now you know. If you didn't know you love VSAV, you actually do love VSAV. You just don't know it yet. And lastly, like we were saying, Marvel Tokon, Avatar Legends, and Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, the Ultra Suplex Hold 2.5 is happening at SQXL, the promised day. So if you're interested in any of those games, if you're interested in any of the games that we've talked about before, or even if you're just interested in awesome events ran by awesome people, please make sure that you sign up now at star.gg/SQXL.
And that being said, talking about some awesome people, talking about major events happening. We have a major event about to hit your screens right now. We have our grand finals here. Slow versus Montoon. Mika versus Linne. The battle of the rats. The battle of the little girls.
It's a battle of a rat versus a walking block of cheese on the other side of the screen right there, as our players are now fully getting into it.
And that cheese being that Matcherino is right there as well. Yes. I see 21 codes. Please be some darlings. Make sure that they know this, specifically for me, gets paid.
Yeah, if we could claim all these codes before the end of the set, that would be super awesome. And I know everyone at Boston Blue, as well as everybody on the commentary, as well as the players of the grand finals, would all appreciate it. Just like Slow is appreciating that round one right there, coming off a grid break throw.
round so far. That first round looking very dominant on the side of slow, but fantastic with finisher from Montoon. Great throw back into the corner on the side of slow.
This is a very interesting match from because I don't know how much Montoon and Slow have directly played each other, but these are also people that have access to like world-class caliber players of their opposing characters within their league, right? Slow having Akini being able to be available on deck, and then Montoon having someone like Killer, who is able to just like really show you what these kind of characters can do. So it'll be very interesting to see what kind of adaptations that they're going to be making over the course of the set, as well as what kind of adjustments that they would be making that maybe the other player is not necessarily as like teched for or prepped for within the match, just due to their other experience. Let's see what fully comes up right here. CS right there tried to throw, but the VO comes out from Montoon. Not going to be able to stay safe this time. We'll just reset back to the neutral.
Great TK missile to go over the sweep right there. And using the immediate EX cancel of the special move to go straight into the command grab. Definitely tripping up slow right there. Very important grid break right there.
Speaking of tripping him up, yeah, gets a grid break, immediately finding the 2C as well, just constantly trying to catch him out. We may not be landing any big combos, but we're playing Scramble City, we're getting TRMs, we're getting that first game to go into Slow's favor.
So many throws, I'm starting to think I'm watching Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, that is the Slow game plan. You got strikes, we got throws. Dash Kuga, that's just drive rush.
I play Ryu, I say drive rush. And that being said, Montoon getting this initial wave of momentum going into this next game here. So the DP though.
Had a good throws plus moment in the corner right there that ended up going into Montoon's favor.
Could be on side of slow here.
Yeah, tried to air, but Montoon didn't want to match in the skies, so Slow just re-ups with EX Air Kuga catching him out while pressing. We'll see if Montoon can find a way out of this, because you're back in the same situation that cost you the last round before, this time getting clipped with the max range 2C. Slow should build up to exactly 100 meters should that they need to spend it. No, they popped the CS, but the 6C ender is not fast enough, so Montoon has a chance to live, but it's fine. Use the DP. Invincibly reversal out as it shows up on screen. Everything's okay.
An immediate 6-6C right there on the side of Montoon, yet again getting this initial bit of momentum. I am unsure what is happening with this game. What a port. Shouts out. Shouts out Cyclone Zero.
This is footsies. I don't know what you're talking about.
What a game. While we are struggling with this, if you would all be darlings, if you're enjoying the action that you're seeing, please. I see what you're saying, Vera. Okay, it appears to be back to normal. It appears to be back to normal.
Yeah.
As I was saying, just look in the chat, I put the match arena link again. That being said, we actually have a match happening again. So Slow with the DP right there. Forcing Montoon to go into VO immediately. Just EX command grab, just another command grab catching the force function there. Inside is Slow.
Oh, getting a little bit extra damage right there. Slow looking to delay tech. Great CS as well to catch the backdash right there. And after a little bit of wading through water, he finally finds the opportunity to close that round though. Slow, not letting it get to them very clearly, still able to keep the momentum going. Oh, almost had the right shield, but Montoon gets a late cross up right there.
PO from Montoon. A lot of both of these players being very laissez-faire with their resources throughout this entire set.
It is, these are two players that I think really understand UNI2 and its meter build, where you get so much meter all the time, right? It's very much like you should be using it whenever you can, because the situation like this slow has already lost, I think, probably about 20 meters.
Yeah.
Right. So not using it is sometimes detrimental to the overall length of the game. However, when we are in these later portions, just having the 200 meter on deck is going to be more important to guarantee the IW finish. Slow now up 2-0 over Montoon.
Yeah, I'm about to make this grand finals, very, very, very quick here. Bloodletter saying someone might be sleepy.
No sleepy snoozers have been hit yet. Everything's fine. Everybody's wide awake and ready to go as we get into what could be the last game if it goes into Slow's favor. The Montoon showing that they want this to go to distance. They want this reset to happen. Slow right now just doing a good job of playing that good straight throw game and preventing them. Nice trades right there. Evens back. Ow, but we tried to throw the two efforts to blow them up.
Good catch on the air hit. Good recognition to adjust the combo for that as well. Trip them up with sweep, and I will fully punish. ADP into EX fetch with the tried and true formula for success in this game for damn near a decade at this point. And very offensive DP on the side of Slow. One game away from taking its entire tournament.
Okay, there we go. I like it. Just going for the delay 2C off the 5C. Check right there, forcing Montoon. Always be guessing whenever that is that normal ends up coming out. They delayed so much Slow, but Montoon ready to just be at the exact time to know you want to press it. I like this. Just punish with the DP wherever you can. Do what you need to do to keep it simple. No need to go crazy. 2C will connect. You have a lot of meter on deck. You have CS. They don't have a lot of health. What is your plan? CBO, Mujin, Steer, IW,
simple. And like that, your Boston Blue beat August 5th champion will go to Slow with a 3-0 right there. A very stellar performance throughout this entire bracket from Slow.
Yeah, excellent stuff from Slow. Really showing that their grind has been paying off. Able to make it through a bracket like this. I think only dropping one game to Manil the entire time. Everything else was clean in their favor. So excellent stuff here from Slow. And congratulations to all of our top 8 competitors as well. Everybody put in a bunch of work, put in a bunch of hours to get to this point, and it is always awesome to see.
Yeah, congratulations to not just them, but also to everyone else who participated, because that is how these things get handled. And with that, I would like to give you all a great good night.
Yep. Thank you all for coming through. We're going to be heading on over to NPC for the rest of their stream, so thank you all for coming through. We're going to see you all next week. Or I'll see you this weekend, actually, for some more Boston Blue Beat action. Take care.